It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
you caught me.
Pound.
Oh my god, that's so secure. How do you remember it?
Oh, it's tough. I have it written down everywhere. Pound.
Kate, help me remember to change my luggage the combination of my luggage.
Was it your birthday?
No, it was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
A lot of my friends have their birthday as their phone, and then I like unlock it, and they're like, "Oh no! How did you know?"
You're like, oh.
I'm such a good friend. I know your actual
'Cause I
birthday.
know when your birthday is, girl.
Got everybody up and open, I think. Yep. I don't know why we're starting with music, but yeah.
Hello.
I don't think we have any viewers yet, unfortunately, but it is going to be recorded, so. All right. Welcome to our second streaming session. Good alliteration there. I think I'm calling this Tales from Tawatha, which is the name of the world we're in. Adjust my webcam. And is everyone up to date? I know a few people were missing last week. Greg, were you able to watch the rest of the session?
I managed to watch most of it.
Okay.
I watched it. I wasn't sure what we did with the gold.
No one did anything with the gold. I actually noted it down next to the initiative. Because I was like, our treasurer is missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
We sort of agreed to handle it when we got back to the inn.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have like assorted other goods worth money, or just the straight gold?
If you want, it might be hard to carry, but you could go around and like collect their weapons. They're just mundane weapons. Nothing really looks particularly interesting to you.
Nah.
So,
That's alright.
Yeah, there were 2 vials of acid and 2 vials of poison.
Yep, we found a decent amount of gold.
Yeah. Thea stole those, right? I remember.
Yeah, I did.
Initially, she's like, "Oh, I'm stealing these," and then she was like, "Well, actually, what I meant was I'm too socially inept to understand that this might be considered stealing." So, but everybody noticed anyway.
Because Thea is not sneaky. She is the least sneaky.
If you were trying to be sneaky,
doesn't
it
understand
certainly
how to
didn't
sneak.
work at all.
Yes.
Let me do that. There we go.
Unlike our boy Frederick.
Frederick was a sneaky
Yeah,
bastard.
He's a spicy, sneaky bastard. He murdered his face
He
off.
was quite spicy.
Smashed the skull.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's
He deserved it.
let's recap. Having completed their business in the Hollywood, our heroes were convinced by their new compatriot, Frederick Durka, to seek out what he claimed were the ruins of an armory of the elves who lived in the Hollywood centuries ago, known as the Kelmari. Inside the ruin, the party was ambushed by Frederick and his syndicate hit squad. What ensued was one of the most gruesome battles ever. After the carnage subsided, our heroes discovered quite a bit of currency and a leather patch, which bears a symbol they recognize from their very first job together in Thaura, overseeing a sting carried out by the Spellcaster's authority against the Syndicate. How will the party who hastily left Moontip be received on their return? We will find out right now. Okay, it looks like Alik has distributed party gold.
Woo!
Right off the bat, Thea, you discovered this leather patch. It was kind of where we ended. You realize that the leather patch you recovered, and it was from Frederick's cloak, it was like sewn into his cloak, seems to be made of a single piece of leather folded onto itself and sewed along 3 edges. So it is leather patch with a symbol of an eye on it, and it seems to be sort of like one piece of leather folded and closed.
I'm gonna inspect and see if there's anything on the inside.
Are you gonna like
Yeah, it's inside.
cut the threading? It's sewn closed.
Oh.
Oh, I thought I already ripped it out of his cloak.
You ripped it out, but it's still sewn shut. It's like
Oh, it's sewn
It's
on
like
the 3
this.
sides where it's not. Got it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up.
Okay, so
Away from your face.
Yes, away from my face.
says Cora. So here,
Thank you,
As
Cora.
I'm watching this happen, I'm like, no.
point that away.
I just got hit by some poison bolts by these jerks as I opened that chest a minute ago. Let's be careful.
So you slice it open. Inside there is a folded piece of parchment.
Can I read it?
Sure. You open the parchment, and you see this.
I don't know. Can you? What language is it in?
You see what it is right there.
Hold on, I gotta zoom in.
If you, I know you're on a tablet, but if
I'm
you can
technologically
hold
impaired
Alt,
right now.
if you can hold Alt while you mouse over it, you get like a zoomed-in view of it that pops up on your screen.
Is this
Oh,
something we
nice.
can all see? Or just her?
Only Thea is seeing it currently.
Oh, okay.
She could show it to
I'm gonna
people
show
if
it
she
to
wants.
everybody. I'm showing it to everyone right now. It's a list of our races and genders, and then some symbols underneath that I don't recognize.
Do I know them?
No. Did she? Oh, she shows it to everyone.
Yeah, she said she shows it to us.
Yes.
I
To
nod over
everyone.
to our companions. Do we want to show it to Tevin and...
I assumed she was showing it to them when she
Professional
said
Pendleton?
everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna show it to them as well.
Ted's
So,
like,
do they recognize
"Oh, I ain't
anything?
never seen nothing like that before. And Thaddeus is like, wait a moment. And he like starts flipping through. He like is digging through his satchel of notebooks. And he pulls one out, starts flipping through it. That looks a bit familiar. I've seen script like this before, but I wasn't able to decipher it. I merely noted it. Some of these characters match up or look very similar to other
Where did you
writers.
see it before?
I believe I was sent a note by the Spellcasters Authority in Thaura. They sent me some note to see if I could help decipher it. You know, didn't care much for it, spent about a week on it, and gave up.
If you happen to find it, can you share that note with us as well? It may help us in the future.
Well, I've copied it down here. He sort of shows it to you, and there are a lot of symbols that look very similar to the symbols that you see on the note you found in Frederick's pouch, but they just look like gibberish.
Yes. Well, I take note of all the notes.
Okay. Just male dwarf.
Noted.
Okay. I'm so sorry I can't be of more assistance here.
That's okay.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I think that's it.
Go ahead, Alma.
Go ahead with what?
I don't think she's gonna
We
say
both, I thought I cut you off.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Just this.
I just said thanks
Elf, it
anyway.
doesn't say.
Well, we suspect that this is part of the syndicate, if nothing else. We know that they are not our friends. Probably plans to kill us, maybe location and time. Are we going to rest in these ruins before we head out?
Well, I think we can make it back to Moontip before nightfall if we head out now. We're pretty close.
I think I could make it back okay.
I think that's the wisest course of action.
It is getting towards dusk at this point. So you all head out?
Yeah.
Alright. With the crumbling stone of the Kelmari ruin behind, you find yourselves once again amongst the now comforting boreal surroundings of the Hollowwood. Despite the events of the last few days and the horrors of the deeper parts of the wood, a strange tranquility washes over everyone, and Lost is particularly attuned to it. Once Tevin crosses the threshold, he crouches down and places his hand on the ground, gently running his fingers through the grass and dirt. There's an unusual blank expression on his face. As he continues this strange ritual, as though he's lost in another world.
So, one quick question. Was that small chest in the entryway of the ruins anything?
Oh, you want to check that out? No one ever noticed it last time.
You did not watch the full.
I did not. I said I didn't. I said I didn't watch the whole thing. So okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was full of poisons.
Full of poison.
Okay, so there's this
Right.
chest. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the one over
Talking
here.
about this one,
Oh,
the
we didn't do
smaller
anything
one.
with that.
The small one.
Yeah. I didn't
Did
realize
not do
anyone
anything
had
with
even
that.
noticed that.
Someone did watch the stream
So-
after all.
In this side entry room, there is another small wooden chest. It looks very similar to the other one you discovered in the main chamber.
I mean, it's probably full of poison, but we could try to open it anyway. If we have anybody that knows how to do that. Seem to remember that we don't.
Yeah, wasn't it Frederick who had the thieves' tools?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he.
Can
was
I
very
recover the
dishonest
thieves'
about
tools
that.
from Frederick's corpse?
You can take the thieves' tools from Frederick. Yeah.
Yes.
Mark that you have one set of thieves' tools.
Does anybody have anything that we could cast that would protect him from poison or anything like that?
I don't think so, but.
I have protection from poison. Would that work?
Oh, yes.
Alternatively, I have resistance to poison, and so does.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can brainstorm a way that someone who isn't as words.
Well, is the small chest locked?
Squishy, as
First.
Lost was.
You want to try to open it?
Yeah.
With an AC of 11.
Maybe somebody who has resistance to poison can open it. But if it's locked, I can figure that.
I'm feeling about medium health right now.
I can cure you if you get poisoned, but unfortunately I can't prevent it.
As I'm going to do it, I go to do it with my hammer. So if anybody wants to try to stop me,
You're just gonna smash the chest.
I'm going to try to smash the
Well,
lid on.
Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Alec is standing
Okay.
over it with his hammer
And I'm
raised.
Wait,
just
wait.
like last time, this does not seem like the best idea. I'm going to handle this. And I just kind of try to push it open.
Okay, you like push Alec out of the way.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I told him. I don't think this is the best idea.
Alec, are you gonna do anything to try to stop that, or are you just gonna let
Oh, I'm going to let it happen.
let her push you out of the way? Okay.
Just-
Okay, so Alec's got his hammer over the chest. Cora's like, wait, hang on. She pushes him out of the way and just tries to lift the lid. As you lift the lid, make a dex saving throw.
Yeah.
You hear ding. 3 poison darts shoot out from
Whoa.
the chest.
Would I be able to use my reaction to help defend?
It's not an attack.
Yeah, I know.
You take 8 points of piercing damage. And yeah, roll to save. You're not poisoned, but you feel pretty bad. Some darts
So that was
fly out
Cora?
and hit you in the chest. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and do a cure wounds on Cora.
All right, go ahead and heal.
I'm still at 11 HP. I'm not dead yet. Everybody else took a lot of damage in that combat, and I just kind of
Yeah,
sat back
I had
and
a rough time.
fired some awesome arrows
Yeah.
at a half orc.
Actually, how is everyone else doing
So
health-wise?
for 8,
I'm at 13 of 26.
Okay.
Cora, I heal you for 8.
Got it. 19 now.
Do we have time to wait here for 10 minutes before we head out, or will it be too dark?
No, I don't think 10 minutes will hold us up too much.
Alright, I'll do a prayer of healing.
Oh, you have a 3rd level or a 2nd level spell slot?
I did, yeah. I
Okay.
saved it.
You can
I
do
couldn't
prayer
use it
healing,
because
man.
I didn't have 10 minutes in the middle of battle.
Yep.
Alright.
Pick them
Nerida
up.
kneels down and clutches one of her seashells and starts chanting.
Where is Mr.?
Can I investigate the rest of the ruins while she's doing this? Do I have to be in a certain radius?
The place has been thoroughly investigated by Thea. She completely cased the joint.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought that was part of the thing. Why didn't we get the chest while she cased the joint anyway?
Oh, she was looking
That's fine.
primarily in these. like, two
Everyone can
rooms.
have 10 hit points.
Okay.
Nobody said they were looking in here. Everyone
All right,
heals.
fair
After 10 minutes of chanting, you feel the rejuvenating light flow into you. Some divine rejuvenating light, and you're healed 10 hit points.
29 out of 32.
Is that everybody? It's
It's 6
targets?
people, and we have
So someone has to not be healed.
out of
'cause you
our
have 7.
real friends.
Yeah. There are 7 total,
What-
right? There's 5 party
Out
and
of
2
out of
NPC.
our allies, how much damage did Tevin and Pendleton
Don't
take?
think Tevin got hit, and I don't
So we
think
could ignore
Thaddeus
him?
got hit. Yeah.
And that's our whole party, or
I also don't know what HP I'm at from that.
Did Ali get hit?
I think he did,
Yes.
but not for a lot.
I got
I
crit.
think
I remember that.
Yeah,
Everyone
everyone
got
got crit.
everyone
and
got
everyone
crit.
critted.
Literally everyone who was fighting who took a hit got crit at some point.
Crits were raining from the sky.
It was just raining 20s.
It was pretty fucking insane.
Yeah, I think you're down like 8 or something, Alik.
Alright, I'll pass on the heal. I don't really need that bad.
Well, there are people who literally don't need it all. Like, I don't think Tevin
Oh,
or
well, then,
Thaddeus
okay, I'm
need
back.
it. So everyone else heals 10.
yeah, we decided everyone was fine.
Okay.
Before we
All
leave
our
here,
bros.
I want to use my Dwarven Stone Cunning to check out the history of the Druid.
You've sort of already
I guess
done that when you entered.
I remembered about
Oh.
it.
So
I just want to do it because I get double.
I think everybody remembered. A lot of like I remember just a chorus of people going, "Alec is gonna check out the stone, right?" It's like, yeah.
Cool, good work, me.
So you're like, these stones are old. And that was pretty much your take on it. You're like, these
we
are
did
like,
not do very well.
these are just worn.
But if he wants to explore for precious stones around the area, although technically again,
What are you gonna prospect the area like a?
No,
Oh, I don't think
but he
that's how
has
that
his
works.
dwarven sense, gets bonuses to find gems and things.
There's
There's
nothing
anything
in the
else in the
temple.
ruins?
Thea thoroughly
Okay.
searched everything. In the chest
We feel
are
fairly comfortable
2
about the,
large rocks.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Well done.
Rocks. I will leave
Are they
them there.
pretty
Let's
rocks?
say,
No.
Alec, do you want to say anything
No.
special about those rocks?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a check on those rocks.
All right, roll your stone sense.
Check those rocks.
They're just regular rocks.
I did
Even if
really
you get a
well.
D20. Yeah.
They are most like 80 or 90% limestone and a bit granite in a mixture. They're
Pass that information on.
That is
But
so
these-
specific.
they're clearly
mostly
he
limestone.
rolled really well and he
Granite
knows
in
about
there.
rocks.
Yeah, thanks, Iden. Thanks for
No,
that.
I'm impressed by your preparation. I didn't.
It's a
You were
little
ready,
strange
you were
because
ready
all
for
the
that.
fail around here.
You're like, I know what
You-
composition these
you
rocks are
even-
that they're gonna
Top
find.
level.
You
Yeah.
even get trace bits of hematite in them as well.
See, now he's just throwing shit out there.
That's the real thing. Play Dwarf Fortress.
No, I'm aware it's a real thing. I just am enjoying that you just got that ready to go.
Trace bits of hematite ore. Not worth enough to smelt for sure.
Can I throw them at Frederick's stupid face?
Frederick is
His dead body, stupid face.
the webs.
still have a
The
face
webs
to
have
throw it
at? No, it's
retracted.
not
You know, the
sorry.
webs have magically
Does he
faded.
have a face still?
He has a face. There's a large bleeding gash about 4 or 5 inches into it that ends right above his eye, and he's just on the
enough for a
floor,
rock?
like frozen in a
could
look
just-
of horror.
You could just grab one of the stones and kind of shove it in there.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it
That's
big
too
enough
much
to
effort.
shove
I
It's-
just wanted to like.
The
rip them
stones
off
are
and stuff,
large.
so-
They're
I'm
you know
feeling
Yeah.
pineapple size.
uncomfortable
Oh,
with
nice.
all this talk of
Goring,
Desecrating dead
desecrating
bodies.
dead bodies.
Well, so
Okay,
wait.
well, I have a negative charisma score, so.
You'll do.
So you're gonna earn it.
Eat rocks, bitch.
Earn that
I
Shove
don't
them in
know,
his
not
head.
that intense. Just, you know, wanted
So-
to lift
so-
it
I
off
also
the
have a
score.
negative
Alright,
charisma
throw
score.
the rocks.
Maybe I'll help
Yeah.
you.
All right, roll to
What
hit Tevin's.
what I will say,
Roll to hit Frederick's
I'm
corpse.
not trying to hit Tevin. Yeah.
Roll to hit Frederick's corpse from across the room.
Plus a number. What if,
I don't imagine you're
Plus 5.
proficient.
if it's a weapon attack?
It's a weapon attack.
Oh yeah, well then plus 5.
It would
I
just
guess
be
I'm not
like
proficient at
dexterity.
You're not
throwing
proficient
rocks.
at like.
Just 13's fine. Who cares?
Okay.
Dexterity.
You don't hit his head, but it like
-1.
bounds off his chest and falls to
That's
the floor.
fine. I said I
and
wanted to
his
rip him
body
off
like
the sword,
just flexes under the weight of the stone.
Since I have theoretically retrieved anything of value from Frederick's corpse at this point, at least I grabbed the thieves' tools. To make Nerida feel better, I use Create Bonfire and I set his body on fire.
Okay.
I laugh to myself.
I laugh is a good response to that. The body is set ablaze.
Maniacally.
The
Maniacally.
clothes rapidly turn to cinders, and his skin begins to peel away and turn black and char. The muscles underneath, tense and snap and boil, and it's a bit horrific.
Yeah.
But Nerida loves it. So
and Umbra really frowns on you because she likes drowning.
Probably.
So burning all these people? No. That's not her thing.
okay,
I smile at Nerida for like a half second because I don't do a lot of smiling.
I smell
Yes.
back and then walk away.
We decided Buggy would not wave. It would give the middle finger.
all right. So exiting the ruins. I'm just gonna do this again since we kind of
We're gonna
paused.
try again.
With the crumbling stone of the Kelmari ruin behind you, you find yourselves once again amongst the now comforting boreal surroundings of the Hollowwood. Despite the events of the last few days and the horrors of the deeper parts of the wood, a strange tranquility washes over everyone, and Lost is particularly attuned. Tevin crouches and places his hands on the ground, gently running his fingers through the grass and dirt. There's an unusual blank expression on his face as he continues this strange ritual, as though he's lost in another world.
I'll walk up to him and go, notice anything interesting?
Oh, sorry. I was just remembering someone from a long time ago.
Someone from
Did
a long
you
time ago,
find
said?
out that
Sorry,
Lost?
I didn't hear you over the...
I was just remembering someone from a long time ago.
Oh, someone important to you, or?
He looks past you out into the forest with sort of like a vacant, longing stare. Yeah, someone very important to me.
Are they still around?
Not around here. I haven't seen her in quite a while.
What happened?
Oh, I mean, she left. Long time ago. She had loftier goals in life, I think. Just wasn't doing it for her here.
No chance of reconciling?
I don't know. I think maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Do I don't know, believe him?
Roll insight.
I mean, I expect he's talking about his sister, who's
Yeah,
the
I know about
head
his sister,
of the.
so 14.
You know about, but nobody else does.
Yeah.
He is not trying to deceive you whatsoever. And furthermore, you get the sense that he's really vulnerable when talking about this right now. He's being a little guarded. He's not trying to give too much information away, but he's let his guard down just a bit. Normally, he wouldn't talk about this at all.
I mean, do you think it's anything we can help you with somehow?
No. I mean, no. I don't think I need any help with this.
Alright, well, just let us know if you change your mind.
Okay. Laughs a bit at you.
It's okay, I'm used to it.
Sorry,
No harm done.
Should we go?
Sure, yeah. Better get back before dark.
Oh, I want to find out more. Oh, well.
So, I'm gonna wait until everyone's done talking to Tevin, and then I'm gonna go up to him, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, so, we've been through a lot as a party, and we've been to as I've been with these people for a long time. I really think they're people you can trust. So, I did. Feel free to do the same. An attempt to persuade him using my weirdly high charisma
What are you trying to
That no one else
persuade
can
him of? Exactly?
to open up more about what he's talking
Trust
about.
us.
Okay.
Trust and open.
Roll persuasion.
I stay out of the way with my terrible charisma.
So
I go
19.
boldly in, no. Just
Yeah.
because.
I think you're right. I think these are good people. Some things they can't help me with. I got to do on my own. It's personal, but usually I don't work with anybody, so it's a lot just for me to be out here with you at all. I've got my little cabin. I've got my blinds. I stay to the woods, and many days go by before I see another person, usually. So, this is a lot for me. But I do
Wow.
believe that you're good people. I think that's pretty obvious from everything that's transpired in the last few days.
Well, at the very least, if you need anything, I'm at your call.
I appreciate that, Lost. I appreciate that a lot. Same to you. He's sort of taken aback by all of this, but he quickly snaps out of it, and he starts, looking around, getting a sense of his environment, sort of getting in scout mode. All right, let's go. He starts heading off into the Hollywood back towards Moontip. Does anyone else want to do anything else, or are we just following Tevin at this point?
I'll just follow. Can't think of
Following and
anything else.
observing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess follow him out of the forest.
Okay. On the way back to town. Who hasn't rolled in a bit? Alik. Roll D6. Oh, maybe he's not here. Greg, roll D6. Lost.
Thor.
Okay. Shortly after leaving the ruins, there's a horrendous smell. It's just smell of rot. Tevin starts moving more slowly, and you come across an area of the forest that's just strewn with carcasses of what look like there are a few ghoul carcasses, and there are also bone remains of what look like maybe humans, some elves and things like that, and some decaying corpses as well.
Do I see any creatures hiding among the corpses or anything?
Roll perception.
Do we all, or just the...
20?
You search really thoroughly. There are, insects that have started to come and take bites away from some of the corpses and things like that. So some of these things have been here for a bit and are starting to be consumed by the forest again, effectively. But strangely, there are no carrion birds or anything like that picking at them. Mostly just insects and things.
Is there anything unique about the arrangement of the corpses and bones and
They're
things?
just sort of strewn about in a kind of large area. It does. Well, that's kind of it.
What do you think about this, Tevin? Does it look like a creature did this, or?
He crouches down and examines one of the ghoul corpses. Some of these are arrow wounds. You know, I'm not the only ranger in these woods. We're pretty close to town now at this point. It's possible that, you know, some of the other rangers have started cleaning up a bit. There's not a whole lot of game left with all these undead about, and many creatures are fleeing the forest, so we do what we can to try to maintain the balance of nature, so we can keep our bellies full. This is probably that.
Isn't it strange that they're all together, though?
I mean, maybe. My experience being in the woods these last couple of weeks, they do travel in packs together. When they raid, they travel in packs as well. They're organized. A bit strange for the undead.
Hopefully there won't be any more since we've taken that disgusting seed out of the ground, but I wonder what will become of the ones that still remain.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully over time.
Am I sure they're dead? Like, they're not gonna, like, get back up? Is there anything for me to know?
There are
I was
deep arrow wounds in the ghouls,
Yeah.
and they haven't moved. They're all just on the ground.
Okay.
Of the corpses and things, they could always get back up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like-
Is this clearing? Is this an actual clearing? Like, are we back into the deader part of the hollow?
No. So you were in the more verdant part, and it's verdant all the way back to town from where you were. There, you'd have to go further into the Hollowwood
Yeah.
to reach the part where the trees are.
Given the undead's penchant for getting back up, maybe we should take the time to burn these bodies.
That's what I was about to say, too.
It's not a bad idea.
Do you recognize anyone from
I
town,
said about
Pippin?
dragging them into a pile.
I mean, I don't know too many of the people in Moontip. Thaddeus is like examining the bodies. He's writing as well. Or maybe the professor has some idea.
Professor, do you have anything to add?
Well, I haven't seen any of these people around town at all. Some of those corpses look a bit similar to people that I know, but they're not the same. Perhaps relatives. He scribbles in his notebook. He's like sketching and drawing frantically.
Well, perhaps now that we've taken out some of this darkness, some of the others who have come back as monsters, horrors, have turned into their true selves, and the townspeople were forced to eject them.
So,
You know,
as we
the
gather the
graveyard
bodies,
has been emptying just a bit on the edge of town. It's disturbed quite a few people. It's possible that these corpses are from there.
I still think it's best we burn them, continuing to put them in a pile.
I
Yeah.
do agree.
I think
may
maybe
want
as
to
we
mark them.
gather the corpses, we check them for personal effects. See if there's anything that might help identify that we can return back to Moontip.
Okay.
We may want to mark the location and just inform the residents of Moon, but they may deal with their loved ones.
Dylan's like, I'll try to draw a little crude map where we are. Thaddeus takes a small bit of flesh from one of the corpses, like places it in a little glass vial, corks it, like takes some bone scrapings from one of the skeletons, puts it in a vial and corks it, puts them in his pocket. I think I'm done here.
Are we gonna burn them or should we leave them be?
Thea's like piling them into a pile, right? So
Burning
Yeah.
them with
So
so much
I-
when I say
favor.
when I say leave them be, I mean leave them in this pile that Thea has created.
Burning them won't necessarily favor with the towns.
It's better than just leaving them to rot in these woods.
I agree. We can't take the chance that they'll rise again.
Right.
Go to the townsfolk.
Okay. So you sort of search the bodies for a bit. On a couple of the corpses, you actually find like some interesting looking rings, mostly silver. Nothing too special. Some like copper and bronze rings as well. No particular pendants or anything, or it's simple people that live here in Moontip. They don't wear a lot of jewelry. They don't wear like pendants or anything like that, and they certainly don't wear a lot of identifying markers. Everyone basically knows each other.
I take some of the cloth that I have and I rip it into small pieces so I can tie each set of effects into its own separate bundle.
Okay. I'm assuming you place the corpses in a pile and sort of light it on fire and watch it burn for a moment.
Yep.
Make sure it
Should
doesn't
we
catch
say
any
some-
nearby trees or anything.
Yes.
Heaven, do you know any prayers that the local people favor?
Yeah, I know a few. I got my
I
own
feel
too.
as though we should say something.
Tevin
don't know.
stands over the
The
corpses.
dead are
and
dead.
says a quick prayer. He invokes Miliki at one portion of it, and he just talks about our ancestors and like moving forward and that kind of thing. Well,
Come on, DM, give us a sermon.
Are we concluded here?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe we've done what we can do.
Thaddeus is like sketching the pyre as it burns.
Such an empathetic man.
Very interesting. He's like, as Tevin is giving, the invocation, he's like writing it down. Okay, so continuing onward, ahead you see a small herd of deer, all looking directly at you, but not approaching. They're about 70 or so feet off. And Tevin is just kind of like looking at this. They don't usually just stare. They're all facing you. Even it's not like they're standing sideways with their heads turned. They're just all directly facing you.
Does it seem like they're more interested in any of us in particular?
You can't tell if they're looking at anyone in particular. They're looking at the party, basically.
We spread out to see if they're looking at anyone particularly.
Are you actually going to do that, or are you is Cora just going to...
Yeah, I'm just gonna slowly walk away from the group, and everyone is one by one gonna follow me? Maybe?
What's everybody doing? Tevin is like, I don't think it's a threat, it's just deer, right?
I'm gonna approach them.
Okay. As you approach, getting a closer look at them, so you're getting a bit closer, you get a better look. You notice that the trees near them are absolutely flush with birds of all types. Near them as well on the ground are wild rabbits and dogs and boar and many other creatures of the woods, and they're all just kind of looking your direction. Do you continue to approach?
I do.
Okay. As you approach, you feel a familiar warmth and sense of calm. And they move aside, they part, to form a path for you as you pass. Is everyone going with him, or is everyone
Yeah,
just
I'll start
watching from a
walking
distance?
behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm walking behind at a fair distance, maybe 20 feet.
Okay. They sort of
I
form,
will walk
like,
behind,
Tevin's with
yeah.
you as well. He went right up with you, Lost, and Thaddeus is just like, ooh! He's like scribbling and scribbling.
And subtly prep my bow. Just looking around, not drawing it, just prepping it.
Okay. So all the creatures sort of part. Passing amongst them, occasionally a deer or a dog will nuzzle against you briefly as you walk, while the birds create a chorus of cheerful tones. The grouping closes behind you as you walk, as you continue your parade, and watches intently as you exit the other side of the gathering and continue back towards Moontip. Ahead lies the now recognizable wooden walls and flickering lanterns of the town of Moontip. The scent of freshly cooked meat seasoned with fragrant herbs mixes with the soft, flickering glow of blazing logs sifting through windows, inviting you to partake of their warmth. The low, persistent chirp of crickets gently enshroud the night air, while flits of light from firebugs intrude upon night's veil. You have arrived back at Moontip.
So, what time of day is it now?
It is the edge of night. You would guess 10 p.m. The sun has set 2 or 3 hours ago.
Shall we proceed back to the Pale Glow then?
Yeah, that sounds
I
good.
could certainly use some food and drink.
Yeah.
And a song.
Should we tell the local constable what has transpired before we turn in for the night?
I imagine she would be at home asleep at this hour, but
So,
Yeah.
She did seem pretty interested in our transpiring with Fat Bat.
Perhaps one of us should venture out to fetch her, and the rest of us can start to make accommodations for dinner.
That sounds like a perfect job for Thaddeus.
quite right. I know her very well, of course, and I do hold some sway, as you know, as you've seen. I'm sure she'll be delighted to see us. As you enter the streets of Moontip, members of the Night Watch, lanterns aloft as they patrol the streets, catch sight of you, and one approaches you and speaks in a very familiar voice. You're back! You recognize him from when you went to Fat Vat's house. He was sent with you to investigate.
James, is it?
Jeffrey, but, you know,
Jeffrey.
yeah. I mean, I don't expect you to remember. I can't believe you're back. What happened?
We found the source of the corruption. Unfortunately, yes, a filthy witch had planted a seed of corruption into the woods, and it was sadly using our friend Billy as a means of collecting sacrifices to feed this.
I heard about Billy. He was a monster. You saw him.
yes, unfortunately.
What had happened to him? I mean, he was fine days ago. I met with him.
The witch had
He
his
just
wife.
wanted his wife back, and the witch made a false promise to him.
Oh. He holds the lantern around, sort of inspecting everyone, make sure everyone's accounted for. Oh. That's terrible. Well, oh right. Everyone's at the Pale Glow. It's kind of a meeting place. They're all sort of discussing what to do. We didn't think you'd come back. We didn't know what happened to Billy. Should we go?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
That is where we were headed.
None of you are ghouls, are you? None of you are monsters.
No.
How about you?
I've been in town the whole time. It's just so terrible, but you said it's over.
Yes, I think for now your ghoul problem should be fixed.
I really hope so. Can't take many more of these watches.
We're hopeful at the very least that no more ghouls will be created, although we do not know what has become of those that were already made.
Well, at least there's an
But a
end to it.
single ghoul is handled easily by a strapping young lad as yourself in the town.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, it's no problem at all.
Besides, it looks like some of the rangers may have taken care of a few of them anyways.
Oh, good. Yeah, they do good work out in the forest, I think. I've never been out with them, but everyone says
You wouldn't
they
know anything
help.
about that killing patch out in the near the town, do you?
Killing patch.
No need to frighten the young man.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
We seem to have stumbled upon many dead figures and ghouls slightly outside of the village. In fact, we brought back their belongings for those that we thought could identify.
Well, I mean, it's good that they're dead. Terrible about, the townspeople. You found corpses of the townspeople. I'm sure their kin will want to know. You said you brought back trinkets, baubles, something to identify them?
We've brought what we found, and we did our best to keep them separated, for each person. We're hoping that it will bring the families some small bit of peace.
And that's much more than you had to do.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Thank you.
many of them were just bones at this point, but I do have Elia's ashes.
Oh, Elia. So she wasn't alive.
No, unfortunately not.
It's terrible. Let's go. Everyone's waiting.
Okay.
He escorts all of you back to the Pale Glow Tavern. There's a large group. They've all gathered in the central room of the tavern, and there's some loud discussion happening when you walk in. As you walk in, everyone goes silent and looks to you. And Jeffrey is in front of you. I found them right on the edge of the Hollywood. They say...
Hamshank, please!
He looks at you, he's like, I'm sure we can get food. And Percy, Hamshank! And he calls out to Thormund in the back. Well, they say, they've killed a witch, was it? And Elia is dead, and Billy too. There's a huge grouping of people there. You recognize many of them. You recognize Ula Leroux, who's stands out quite a bit. She's a large female human with long braided blonde hair. There are some you don't recognize. You recognize Mersha from the woodcarver's store that you went into briefly. You recognize Mikola, who was the owner of the Hardy Huntsman that you went into looking for bows before. He's there. Other than that, a bunch of new faces, basically. But Percy is in the back behind the bar,
Any of
taking
the
orders and stuff.
children?
No,
the
there are no
town's
children.
that we met?
No
Okay.
children at all. It's very late. And towards the center of the grouping, there's a short-ish, about 5'4", male human who's balding with gray hair. He has like a severe hunch, and looks just racked with age. He's very, very old. And he is leaning on a walking stick, like a cane. And he sort of makes his way up to you and inspects you all. Well, you back?
Yes.
Ah, yes,
We seem to be.
I don't think I ever managed to catch your names. I'm Mayor Reggie Numberold. I'm the mayor of this town, you see? And, you do have some fine specimens among you.
Oh boy.
Curvy man. I believe there was a collection taken up to reward those that saved your town.
Well, yes, of course! Of course! And you say you're those people!
Well, we may not have. Well, go ahead.
Yes, we are. I'm Nerida. I'll put my hand out to shake his hand.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And he kisses your hand gently.
I don't say anything.
And you! And he starts pointing at Thea. Who might you be?
I clasp my hands behind my back and nod at him and say, I'm Thea Nialo.
No reason to be afraid. Yes. And you've got a tiefling friend with you.
Yes, I'm lost.
Yes. Lovely skin, interesting horns, very good. There's a couple of smaller ones. Come on, introduce yourselves, don't be rude.
This is a leak.
A leek.
He's eating ham.
Like those
currently.
things you cook in stew.
No. A-L-I-K.
Oh, very good. Excellent
No,
name.
he's Harbequil Mythaleek, Harbequil Mythaleek. To yours, good sir.
He
And
looks.
I am
He gives you a
Cora.
confused look. I'll stick to a leek. I like that. Small name, small person. Great stature, though, for his size. Nice to
good.
meet you, Cora.
Appreciate your comments about size, as I definitely do not. I carry my own weight in this
Oh.
party, thank you.
Terribly sorry. Well, I don't mean any offense, but you are stout. You clearly look tough. It's really, you just look like a hearty bunch of people, and we greatly appreciate your service, if indeed you did serve us. But I'm here to get the whole story.
What is it you would like to know?
Well, from what I heard, Billy strangled a man to death after you shot him with an arrow, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
And then he ran off into the woods, and you went and chased him.
Yes,
That's as much as I know. I would like you to fill me in.
Okay. So, deep in the woods, the hag Mersha managed to coax Billy into bringing sacrifices to feed a seed of corruption she had planted deep in the woods. In exchange for these sacrifices, she would resurrect his recently deceased wife.
Elia. Yes.
Yes.
Terrible.
Upon defeating the witch, and sadly, Billy along with her, we managed to find where she was staying, and in her cave, we found the corpse of Ilya Nastaya.
I'll pull out my augury box as he says that.
The decomposition had gone too far, so we were unable to move her body appropriately. So we said a prayer and burnt the body, returning the ashes with us.
I'll open it.
There's him in there.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. We'll get those into the reliquary. At some point. And you all agree with this story? Nobody says anything different?
Yes, this is what happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that checks out. Well, I'll have Laura send some guards in to check it out, make sure. Get a little farther into the forest. Hopefully we can spare them,
Unfortunately, there are many bones left behind around the hag's cave that we suspect might be members of your town, former members of your town. You might want to come equipped to bring back their remains as well.
Yeah, I'll let them know. They'll bring a couple of mules or something, Yeah, I mean, well done. A hag, you say? Mersha? Tell me more about this hag.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to spend too much time with her. She was quite hostile.
As hags usually are. Aren't I
Yes.
right? And he, pokes at you a bit.
Yes, quite so.
So, you didn't learn anything about her?
We believe she may have been at work for a darker force, but it's unclear who or what that may be.
So what makes you think the Hollywood's safe now?
We removed the seed of corruption she had planted deep in the
seed?
woods. All of the death and destruction of the trees and plants and rising of the dead seem to center around this point.
And the animals have begun returning.
Yes, we saw many of them as we left the woods.
The Rangers would like to hear that. Do you have this seed? You said you took it.
Nope.
Well, that makes your story just a little bit harder to believe now, doesn't it?
We cleansed it and destroyed it.
Fair enough, I suppose. Well,
To confirm, you only need to go look at the wildlife returning to the forest.
oh, you better believe I'll look into this, Sonny.
And we left quite a hole where we dug up the seed from. I'm sure you'll be
Can you
able to
point us
tell.
towards it? You make some kind of map for my guards.
I'm sure
That
Tevin
way.
would be able to take care of that. I'll go
Yeah,
with
I
Tevin.
could. It's pretty much right in the center. I could point Laura right to it. She'll know where to go. All right, thanks. Well, I think we'll be in touch. But at this point, it's getting late. It sounds like everything is more or less resolved, and we can all go home. And he just points around to everyone around him. And they're like, yeah, okay.
Good night, sir.
Good night, fine lady. And I'll see you tomorrow, and you too. And I guess the rest of you too. And he starts
Okay, with
heading out
that,
the door.
I'm just going to start walking towards the bar
I will also walk towards
and
the
sit
bar.
down.
The crowd of people, like, mostly leaves right after the mayor. A few people stay behind, but I think Mikola will stay. No one else you really recognize stays.
Could I start performing for them an epic tale of our adventure?
Sure.
Do a performance before they leave?
Go for
Make
it.
some-
Make a performance roll as they leave.
Can I guidance?
You can guidance, sure.
When?
Although you'd be casting
Sorry.
magic that
I
everyone
have
would
magic
see.
permit.
Okay.
It's only +1.
Percy, I'm going to need something strong before they get into this song.
Yeah, I
I'll
bet.
take the same.
He pours you that same very hard liquor he gave you before. He pours some for Thea as well. You are just a
Damn.
fiend. You were like... And the words just come naturally. They flow directly to you. You sing an epic ballad of the demon possessing the good-hearted Billy Fatvat. And, well, actually prior to that, right, of the sad tale of Billy losing his wife Elia to the woods and a hag, entrancing her and killing her, and then Billy going into the woods to try to rescue her, but being taken in by the hag's promises of resurrection after seeing his dead wife, and the tale of you going in, you exclude the Billy about to murder the child bit, but you go into detail on how you went in and triumphed over hideous creatures, carrion crawlers and sturges in the forest, and battled your way through to the center of the forest and defeated the hag Mersha. And, you really dramatized the death of Billy. He's this, incredibly sympathetic character who's just down, and he asks you to kill him at the end. And you do. You're like, he's like, end my suffering. And it's just this really amazing ballad of your tale, and everyone is just entranced. They really wanted to know what happened, and this is such an epic telling of it that they're just glued to your every line and measure. And yeah.
Terrific. You entranced us all with that telling of it. So I will head over to the bar. I'll, put my loot away. Kind of just get off the
Everyone
stage
is
and head over to the
clapping
bar.
and cheering
I'll
for
clap as
you.
well.
It's like, yeah, awesome.
If only all adventures could end that happily, and I will order something alcoholic from the bar. Not too heavy, but medium.
Okay, he pours you a stout sort of wild berry ale, and places it in front of you. That was quite a tale. It's really well told. Did you make that up just now, or have you been practicing?
Well, I have been thinking about it for a moment now, but really it just came to me on the spot. I figured everyone would want to know what had happened, and sometimes it's best to share the tale than to leave these deaths unknown.
Yeah, for sure. That's incredible. You have some admirers, I think. And he points behind you. And you turn around.
Nope, don't bother to look.
You don't even look.
No.
You just hear from behind you, is that her? Yeah, I think that's her. Oh, she's so cool. Yeah, she's really fucking cool. And they're kind of like, you feel a tap on your shoulder. Excuse me?
Oh, what is it? I'm rather exhausted after that performance.
Do you turn around? Or you just like speak over your shoulder to them?
I speak over my shoulder.
Okay. Sure. Excuse me. I noticed that, you have a bow, and it's a really cool bow. Can we check it out? Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I really want
I
to see that bow.
feel
That looks really
A
cool.
little
You're like a big
naked
hero and
without
stuff,
my
right?
weapons. I merely brought peace to this poor town. I can't claim to have done much more.
Still not even looking?
This is where I mumble, and so humble too.
Is anyone
Really,
looking
it
at
was
these
my-
people
I'm
at all?
looking at them.
Companion. Really, it was my
looking at them.
companions
I
who
can turn
were able
around.
to destroy this massive evil.
You're so aloof. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, like a big hero or something. Everyone else sees these two female human twin sisters, about 5'7", one with pale blue and the other with a deep green hair. They're just kind of like bouncing around. They have they're sort of leather clad, and they have leather cuffs. They're just kind of bouncing around behind Cora like, hey, it's pretty cool. That's a really cool bow.
She is pretty cool. She really helped us out back there during the battle in the woods.
Yeah, and you too. Wow, look at that thing. And they're looking at your glaive.
I'll lean it forward a little bit so I can...
At this point, too, everyone finally notices Trogdor, and they're just like, What is that?" He just, slowly creeps in the door, like, "Ah!
Just sticks his head out.
Dragon!" People start sort of yelling a bit.
He's quite safe, I assure you. He's a pseudo
It's
dragon.
a dragon! Oh my god. What's it doing? It's just, crawling in the door. He, runs over to
should
you
probably
and nestles
bring
by
some
you.
ham hanks in before he decides the furniture is
Percy
food.
is like, okay. Just, make sure there's no stabbing or anything with that thing on its tail. Thurmond! Thurmond ham shanks! Lots of ham shanks!
I
Alright.
sort of open up my cloak to let Trogdor curl in next to me.
Okay. He nestles against you a bit. He's, kind of looking,
Yes.
kind of frightened. You get a sense of fear in your head a bit. The girls are still behind Cora, oof, dragon. Ooh. Well, that's a really cool
Pretty
bow.
cool,
Can we see that
huh?
bow? It's just so cool. I mean, I could make something like that, probably. I'm like, yeah, we want to look at the runes. We want to look at the runes.
Oh, really? It's the magic that interests you, and at this point I turn around.
Magic, it's magic? That's really cool, yeah. I think it's pretty cool, Mitunia.
Well, it seems to shape itself to my desires, my size, so...
It's,
and I will
it
hold it
shrinks.
out, but not actually let them take it from me.
They, start moving their hands towards it a bit, and you just retract a bit, and they're like, okay. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Can I pray some insight on it?
Do insight on them? To do what?
Yeah, but I'm
To
gonna
see
pray.
if they are putting on a front.
I can't just, insight them. I have to pray about it.
Okay, you pray about knowing what about them?
I'm rolling insight, but character-wise, I'm praying to them about the
He wants
insight.
Helm to tell him all the dirt.
If they're sincere, what
Okay,
about them?
let's be clear. Are you
Dear
appealing
what's
to
up
Helm?
with these bitches?
Are you appealing to Helm to help you with this situation in some
These
way?
twin bitches.
Functionally, this is just a normal insight roll, but
Okay.
I just want to be clear that like
It's flavored as Helm prayer or
it would
something.
be yeah, it'd be flavored as Helm prayers.
Okay, what are you trying to discover about them? Are you just...
Just are they just like normal teeny bopper starstruck girls, or are they like something else?
They really...
Part of the syndicate.
They're really interested in Korra's bow. They think Korra's really cool. They think you guys are really cool. And, you don't really get much else from them. You get the sense they're not, like, idiots. They're just, like, really interested in what's
Do
going
I
on,
think
and
they're
this is how they
genuine,
express it.
or like, are they trying to get something out of us?
Okay, roll insight.
Wait. So what did Helm say to Alik?
Helm didn't say anything. He thinks it in his head, and he goes, Helm has
23.
guided me. 23.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They are super
Jeez,
genuine.
plus
They're not
7?
trying to get anything out of her. They just think she's really cool. Like,
No shit.
it's magic. Did you make it? Did you find it? Where'd you get it? What is it?
I have no idea. It was a gift from Tevin, who found it in Velen's grave. I would like
You
to
were
know
at
more
Velen's
about it if
grave?
anyone has more history. Yes, the corruption had spread all over.
Oh, the corruption. The corruption. Mitunia. Tiluna. The corruption. It was at Velen's tomb? It's terrible.
Yes, it was full of ghosts and shadows and risen dead, unfortunately.
But you got a cool bow. It's a really cool bow. Just like reaching out again, trying to touch it.
Where are you two from? Are you from this town? Are you travelers like us?
Oh yeah, we're from Moontip. We've lived in Moontip our whole lives. Mitunia,
Such
look at
interesting
that.
hair
They're, like,
colors
looking
that
at
you
them.
have. Are those natural?
Oh no, we dye them all the time. Gotta look really good if you want to sell good bows. And they're like zeroing in on the runes on the bow.
Do you work at the weapons store here?
Oh, we own a store. You haven't been? No, we would have seen them to Luna.
What store do you run?
Oh, we run the best bow maker store, the Fletcher store in town. Yeah, it's called Broad Arc. It's really cool. We've got all these cool bows. Nothing this cool, I guess, but you know, we service the local rangers and stuff. Yeah, they need a lot of bows and arrows for all their hunting.
Do you have any special types of arrows or bolts?
I mean, we've got broadheads, we've got like piercing arrows. Yeah, tell them about that one arrow. Yeah, oh, we developed an arrow that has like a little bit better aerodynamics by just carving certain, bits into the shaft. Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm sure Korra would be very much helped out by having some upgraded arrows. If you wouldn't mind showing her, or maybe offering her a discount or something for having helped out the town.
I mean, Luna.
Now I have people doing my buying for me.
Yep.
Sorry. To Luna. Mitunia. They want us to make arrows for them? Oh, that'd be so cool. They're like heroes and stuff.
I'm sure it would be very appreciated.
Yeah, we can make
Think
arrows.
about the famous giant slayer Korra Hilltopple firing your arrows.
You've killed giants? Oh my god, she's so cool already.
Well, my family is known for killing giants. Unfortunately, they are no longer among us, so I am trying to pick up where they left off.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's like a big legacy of giant killing. Or a small legacy of giant killing. They both chuckle.
Do you happen to
Oh,
have
I-
anything that would be effective against hunting giants?
Well, I've never seen a giant. Have you seen a giant, Mitunia? No, I haven't. I don't know. I mean, we sell arrows. They shoot boars real good.
Well, maybe we'll stop by before we leave town.
Yeah, definitely come by. Yeah, we'll be happy to present you with all sorts of arrows and bows, and we can restring it.
Aerodynamic arrows sounds interesting. Although I do, sorry, motion mic. Although I do have these 2 sacks of spider poison, and I have gotten 2 vials of poison. I was hoping that I could combine these with arrows somehow to make them a little bit more a ranged weapon.
Oh
Any
yeah, of
ideas
course.
about that?
Yeah. If you just put them on the tip of the bolt, or the arrow in this case. Usually the poison survives in flight if you do it just right. Yeah, we could show you how to do that. Oh my god, this is gonna be so cool! Yeah, we're helping a giant killer. This is awesome. And they both kind of giggle. How many giants are you gonna kill? How many giants have you killed? I've never seen a giant.
That I don't know quite yet. I just met you, and I don't feel quite comfortable talking about my future plans of revenge.
Oh, of course. I mean, you are a big hero and all. Yeah, lay off Miluna. It's gonna be okay. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll be sure to have a nice selection of arrows for you. Okay, come on.
Good night.
Okay, Petunia, let's go. They sort of head out the door. They look back at Nerida, like, really cool glaive.
Thank you.
God, you guys are so cool. Oh, look at the horns. They're looking at Lost. Look at the horns.
I raise my glass and nod.
They giggle and shrug and wave at you.
I'm shaking my head and drinking my drink.
I'll also get a drink and some soup and bread.
Versus like, you guys look like you could use a drink.
Yeah, to say the least.
Starts just pouring ale for everybody. Looks over, Lost is finished his liquor, and he like pours another shot. It's like, so all the commotion's gone. You said the force is safe now.
It should be.
I hope this place starts getting back to normal pretty soon. I hate covering the windows and doors every night.
Yeah, it seems quite sad for
should
such
probably
a happy town.
continue just for a little bit to be sure. Well, we have extricated the seed, and that seems to have stopped most of the decay. There's no telling what's out there.
Yeah,
Always be prepared.
I suppose you're right. But I really do hope things get back to normal soon. We used to have parties almost every night in here. And I mean, you saw it. It really died down lately.
Hopefully better days are ahead for you.
Yeah. I'll raise a glass to that. He holds up a glass and drinks some ale with you. Well, you guys staying here again tonight? Oh, food! I got so caught up. I didn't realize, and like Thrummond comes out of the back with like 3 plates of ham shank. They're just covered. It's like a stack of ham shanks on all 3. He sets them down on the bar. He's like, "Thanks, Thurmond." What? There you go. This little dwarf.
I grab a plate. One whole plate.
A whole plate just to yourself. Trogdor pokes out of Thea's cloak, like, looks up at you.
I pass Trogdor a full ham shank.
Starts like tearing it. He's kind of like holding it with his claw.
A full plate of
he
ham
holds
shanks.
like the bone with his claw as he tears the meat off it. Looks almost like a person.
Yeah, he does,
doing
because
it.
he's adorable.
He like chortles when he's like.
Those are definitely the sounds that he would make.
So
I
you
guess the rest of these are to be shared amongst us.
did you guys want anything else? I mean,
Can I get some
Thurman's
of
great
that
chef.
mushroom soup?
yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Thurmond, mushroom
I would like
soup.
some as well.
Right. Two mushroom soups. Right. So you just, talk with Percy, talk amongst yourselves. Does anyone have anything in particular to say before we move on
Nope.
to bed?
So, the one thing I'd like to, I think we addressed it in the chat, but I'll roleplay a little better. I don't think we should tell anyone about the seed.
No, and I think we should try to purchase a lead box as soon as we can.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Lead box? What brings you to that conclusion?
It keeps people from being able to track it or scry or find it somehow, and it should also stop whatever evil magic it contains from leaking out into our bags.
Well, she's quite right. How did you know that?
I've transported many things as a sailor that were quite dangerous and magical.
Evil magical things, you say?
I mean, we're not really supposed to know what's in the boxes, but for the safety of our ships, they tell us not to unpackage them from their lead casings.
He starts scribbling. Where did you sail? I've never heard this.
I'm from the Concord of the Coast, but all up and down the edges of these waters.
They do go everywhere. Scribbling. Were these legitimate transports, or was it something a bit more nefarious? If you don't
I
mind me
believe they
asking.
were all legitimate, but I mean,
yes.
I wasn't really in a position to be able to choose what work I had early on.
Did they come into Thaura?
A few times. I haven't spent much time here because it's not in Thaura. I mean, because it's not exactly right on the coast, but you know.
Yes, I mean, there's the port in Cragtooth. Very near. Most shipping goods come through there and make their way to Thaura. I imagine there is definitely some contraband that way, now that I think about it.
I wouldn't doubt
Scribbling.
it, but like I said, I wasn't really in a position to have much choice over what jobs were given out.
Do you know anyone from your sailing days that perhaps members of the Spellcasters Authority could get in touch with? This is very concerning within the Empire.
I mean, I'm sure I could introduce you to some people, but we weren't really like a, organized bunch.
No, you're more of a mercenary then.
Yeah, whoever was free, sort of like day laborers, I suppose.
I see.
People who wanted things shipped would just come down to the port and get together a crew.
Well, I'd be very grateful for anyone you could put me in touch with, of course, on behalf of the Spellcasters Authority. I mean, it's our job to look into this kind of thing. Not that I'm a member of the Spellcasters Authority, but I work with them regularly.
Yeah, that'd be fine. If you're around and we're near a port, can see what I can do.
So I will contact my people, Tulu and whatnot, and I'll let them know.
Would you be able to supply us with a writ of magic as well? Well, we were able to do so with your word for this, this village. I worry if we go further abroad, there may be trouble.
Well, I certainly can get in touch with my people at the Vetus, and it probably will be no problem providing you with a writ. But the further you go, the less you have to worry. It's very difficult to enforce things far from the capital.
Still, it seems prudent.
Yes, of course. I will get in touch with them tonight. And with that, actually, I must be off. I have a report to make and many, many reports to draft. There's so much has happened. I have 50-odd pages of notes just from the last 2 days alone.
Good luck with
Thaddeus.
that.
Yes. So lost.
You are in agreement on the seed, correct?
I mean, I know of it. I am obligated to inform the Vetus of it, but I don't see why I should spread rumors around town.
The fewer people know about this, the better.
And who's to say you are the best people to know about it? Just because you cleansed
Well,
it.
we have concerns that the Syndicate is infiltrating your message line. After all, they found us here, and the only people who knew that we were going to be here were the one that we rescued from the fire, whose name I don't remember now.
Aelith, I believe?
Yeah.
Aelith?
She was known as
Aelith.
Aelith to you, yeah.
Okay, Aelith. The one who was known as Aelith to us, Lady Theluria,
Teluria.
and
Delphi.
Teluria Delphi. Teluria, okay. Give me. Let me write that down. Teluria.
Yes, well, while the
And
Syndicate
Evan.
is interested in the Spellcasters Authority, they have very little interest in the Vetus. The Vetus is primarily academic, you see. They do some research, they teach. The Spellcasters Authority, on the other hand, is in direct opposition to many of the syndicate's activities. Of course, they don't take very kindly to their work, so
Yes, but
I
you must
communicate
understand
primarily
they
with
are
the
now
Vitas.
searching with us, and any word into the city would be bad. Can I do a persuasion roll to try to persuade him of how
Sure.
severe I do not want him to report too much on our activities?
sure.
Yeah, not very persuasive. The charisma bonus of nothing.
So 7.
Yeah.
Of course, I will not tell anyone in town, as you haven't. But again, I must report this to the Vitas Arcanum. I will certainly spare any details that are not necessary. But believe me when I say that it is for the good of us all, that the Vitas at least know about this.
They can know it. They can know it exists, but they don't need to know where it is.
Yes, I imagine you'll be moving on at some point, and I won't know where you're going. You may not know where you're going, for all I care.
Agreed.
Well then, very fine day, I think, for all of us. I shall go retire. I'm very tired.
Yes, I am as well.
He heads back out the door, waves goodbye to everybody. Tevin's still at the bar drinking with you all. I mean, whew.
Tevin, I trust you understand the importance of keeping the seed's remained existence a secret.
I never got no need to tell anybody. Don't know whether anyone would believe me anyway if I did. Not much of a socialite like your dragon friend.
Have you had word from Theluria what she would expect us to do next, or she only sent us to you
I mean,
in trying to save us from the syndicate?
she hadn't been in touch with me much. I've no way of contacting her. Hadn't heard from her. I imagine she'd want to
What
know about
you?
Frederick.
Any word in the Vitas Arcanum about places that need us? Places we should go?
What makes you think I know anything about the Vetus? Like, I'll pass a message from Teluria and Lady Delphi, and that's all. She told me to protect you. That's it.
Well, if we decide to leave, are you coming with us?
Oh, I've never really left Moontip or the Hollowwood. I don't think so. I think there's something else I have to do.
Well, now that we've been traveling together for a while, care to share why you have such a disdain of mages?
Oh, well. Roll persuasion.
Okay. Nope. He hates me.
1.
0.
He's pretty drunk even at this point. He's like, well, another time maybe.
Alright, fair enough.
No, I'm interested to hear this story. Please, share it with me. Your ranger friend.
I don't have enough in me
And
today.
Well, pass him another drink.
Do you have
Along with that
persuasion
18?
trained?
No. Bonus?
Then
No.
you can't do this.
I can't at all?
Nope. If you try to do a thing, then you're the one trying to do the thing. If someone wants to assist in some way or change what you're doing, like if you wanted to intimidate him or something, you could change your approach and try something else. But you tried to persuade him. If you don't have
Okay.
it if you're not proficient
Again,
in it,
can't
you
do
can't
it again.
assist, and so you can't get your own roll for it.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's
Doesn't really matter.
You tried to do a thing. I was trying to back you up.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty tired, real drunk at this point.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go retire.
Maybe next time we roll through town, you can tell me some stories. I'll pat him on the back and walk away.
Maybe.
Any tales of magnificent hunts, of battles, of women you've loved, anything you would like to share?
Oh, I got plenty of hunt stories. One time I was hunting this boar.
He goes into this very long, drunk, heavily embellished story about how this boar was the size of a horse, and he tracked it for days, and eventually he came upon it, and it charged at him, about to gore him, and he jumped and fired an arrow directly between its eyes and stuck into its skull, and like jumped off it as it charged and rolled, and it charged past him and then fell to the ground dead. It took him 2 days to dress it and bring whatever meat he could back to town. It's just this rambling drunk story. He's like, yeah, and all the women were all over me. It was great. And he's like, towards the end of it, he's almost passing out. He's just like, oh yeah.
That's just one of them. A dozen more like that. You know, I could tell you stories all night.
Is there anyone left in the bar at this point?
it's just you all and Percy. Percy's cleaning up, taking
Well,
everything
I'll be
down.
off to bed. It's
Yes,
been an
with that-
honor to adventure with you, Tevin, and hopefully our
Love
paths
that.
meet again.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Right. You're very good with your magic hands, lady. And your books. They're very helpful. Thank you. Oh, she's got a big glaive.
I
This
do.
Guy's got a nice hammer. You smashed a bloke's face in. I ain't never seen a face crumble so fast. That was crazy. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta go.
He stumbles out of the bar.
Before I head up, I'll walk over to Percy. You go, Percy, quick question.
Anything.
Before we head out of town tomorrow, do you know if there's anywhere in town I would be able to acquire a diamond?
We don't have a lot of jewelers here. Most of our citizens have to, order their jewelry from either Thaura or Brimshire, where the mines are. There's quite a bit of jewelry gets made there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it takes a while to get here. We make a lot of, wooden statues and lumber, clearly, and stuff like that. Fine wooden pieces.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, of course.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. You deserve some rest.
Thank you. I'll head up to bed.
Percy, you wouldn't happen to know, while we were in the woods, we came upon a man, Frederick. Tevin seemed to believe he was a local around here, but he ended up jumping us.
Frederick
You-
Darkow.
Yes.
Yeah. He found you out in the woods? What
yes,
did he want?
after we...
To
He...
kill us, it seemed.
To kill you? Well, why did he want to kill you?
It seems he has he had allegiances other than just this town, and
Yeah, he's a member
his
of the
masters
syndicate.
came calling. Oh, you know of the syndicate?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people around here know not to mess with Frederick. He's got connections.
Have you heard this about anyone else around?
Thanks
In
for a
town or
moment.
nearby?
No, not really. We're pretty far from anything important that happens until now.
Can you tell us where he lived?
I can't say that I can. I didn't Didn't interact with him much, obviously. Tried to stay away from him as much as possible. Gave him his drinks and his food when he came in. That's kind of it.
Okay, well. It's just, it seems we have saved your town of his mob, his syndicate connections, and just
Well,
be wary
He
of
never really
others
caused
who come
too
in.
much trouble, you know. Everyone just knew not to mess with him, kind of let him do whatever he wanted. I didn't get the sense that
But
he
I
was a
think
murderer.
Still, I'll appreciate your help in avoiding trouble in the future by not mentioning our location or where we're going from here if anyone does come questioning after us.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I knew Frederick was involved with the syndicate, but if I see any strangers coming in here asking about you, I'll try to keep it quiet.
We would appreciate that.
Alright, well then. Keeps tearing down, cleaning up.
And I guess I will tip him a gold. We've decided a gold is a lot, right?
Gold is like a day's wage, basically, for your average
Yes.
worker.
So yeah, I will give him a gold.
Okay. Thank you. You guys are too kind.
Well, you have treated us well while we were here. I appreciate all your help.
Only the best for our customers at the Pale Glow. We'll get back to merriment soon enough, I'm sure.
Indeed, perhaps I will come back and perform again
That would be great.
when things are
That was a great song.
of a happier time.
Yeah. You'll have to write that song down, dude. You just made it up on the spot, right?
Indeed, but I will try to spread our legend near and far by sharing it with the other towns and
Yeah.
sharing of our victory here.
What was that other one I hadn't heard before? The Under the Sea? Under the Sea.
Under the sea, under the sea.
That was really cool.
Well, it is about a little mermaid girl who wishes she had legs.
Oh, man. That sounds like a fairy tale I know. That's really cool. Alright, well. Good night. Everyone heads to bed, I assume. Is anyone else doing
Yes.
anything? Okay. Trogdor follows you upstairs.
Yep, we're gonna cuddle.
Well, you don't actually sleep. You just meditate, so... Like, sit on your
You can
bed.
cuddle while meditating.
You sit on your bed, and Trogdor, like, curls up at the foot
cuddle
of
for
the
the
bed.
rest of the night. Spend an hour meditating, the rest is cuddle time.
Okay. Alright, that's where we'll take our break for now. So we'll be back in 10 minutes at 5:45, and we'll pick up right there.
Time to restock on ice cream, ice cream and whiskey.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna switch. You could talk about cookies. That's
One of
fine.
my favorite ice creams is Lemon Cookie by Three Twins Ice Cream Company. It's very good.
Oh no.
Nice. Ooh. I have to come visit you. Yeah. I can see like the irritation with that, but I kind of like it because it's like when you dip a cookie in tea, you know, and it's like that
yeah, that's
right
super good.
moment where it's kind of soft but not dissolved.
All right.
Enjoying that moment.
Welcome back, everybody.
I
When
hope
we
you all
left-
have all the ice cream you want.
When we left for the break, no one was eating ice cream, and now everyone is. Things changed very quickly. Oh, you're the bad boy who has it before dinner. You're like, huh? I'm an adult. I had some Swedish cookie or something. What is
I
that?
had one too. I don't know.
Really good.
We got it from 99 Ranch.
Like ginger cookies or something.
Yeah.
99 Ranch. Fantastic deals. Okay, so everyone went up to their rooms to sleep. Is anyone gonna... I mean, everyone pretty much talked in private, I think, as much as they wanted to, so... There's no more conversation that needs to happen before
I got
bed.
nothing.
Not yet. We'll be It'll be Lost and Cora,
Oh god.
Thea,
I call Thea.
Thea and Nerida. And Alec and Helm will be the last one. Okay. So, Thea, sitting atop your comfortable bed in the pale glow, Trogdor sleeps next to you at the foot of your bed. You close your eyes and rapidly find peace, as usual. After about an hour, your vision clouds as swirling colors and amorphous shapes intrude upon your serenity. They whirl and dance until they eventually coalesce into a large pyre. The massive fire is surrounded by similarly massive creatures, humanoid in shape. Well-stitched pelts adorn their blue-skinned bodies within this cavernous expanse underground. These are stone giants. Their attention seems transfixed on something beyond the pyre that you can't see, and they suddenly all kneel in near unison. They briefly bow their heads before lifting them again to a booming voice. The language, if it is a language, is unknown to you. As the voice fades, the giants once again bow their heads, and your vision grows dark. A feeling of warmth slowly seeps in, and your eyes gently open to the sight of greenery. Peering out from your hollowed tree, you briefly survey your surroundings before taking a moment to stretch your wings and quickly clean your claws. You settle back into your nook in the tree and rest your eyes once again at peace. And the vision fades. Alec, you take rest at your bed on the second story of the pale glow. And as you drift off, you suddenly jolt awake, as if struck by lightning. The pale glow of the full moon pierces the window of your dark room. As you sit up in bed, you sense something outside your window. What do you do? Okay, you say a small prayer to Helm. You stand up off your bed and go peer out the window. Peering out the glass window of your second-story room at the Pale Glow Tavern, the night is still and clear and lit by the bright moon. On the road beneath you stands a single, tall elf with golden eyes and hair. His gashed clothing of blue and purple spotted with blood is embroidered with golden symbols of the moon and stars. He looks directly at you, and you recognize him as Dakota Cecile. Your eyes are locked into his gaze for what feels like hours until he turns. Slowly he extends an arm, replete with cuts and dripping blood, and points down the road towards the outskirts of Moontip. Your gaze is drawn down the length of his arm as he extends, and reaching the end, your vision plunges outwards, down into the streets of Moontip, as the sound of the night air rushing past your ears deafens you. You turn left, then right, snaking your way through the streets until all at once you stop. When your mind finally catches up, you look up to a clear view of a wooden house, colored white, with a wrought iron lantern hanging beside the front door. Beneath the lantern is a wooden crest, finely painted. Its shape is of a kite shield with golden trim, and painted within is a scene of a crescent moon above purple mountains, whose reflection in the water below is accompanied by 8 diamond-shaped stars. Your vision fades. Everyone wakes up the next morning in their beds at the Pale Glow Tavern, the second story. I'm going to say Cora and Alec were in the same room. Does that sound right to everybody? Or Cora and Lost maybe are in the same room? Okay. Okay, so Cora and Lost shared a room. Maybe Alec has his own room. I would imagine Thea and Nerida share a room just fine.
Yeah.
Meditating and
Completely
sleeping, of
platonic
course.
And straight.
Just imagine all the fun you could have with a pseudo dragon.
Oh no. I will not, good sir.
If we had art, there would be much art. Thankfully, we don't at this point. Alright, everyone awakens. Austin, Cora, your night was uneventful. Thea, you can talk to Nerida if you want.
New visions are related to the curse we just lifted. Giants. Oh no.
As you say this, Trogdor is like perking up and kind of looking at you. And he's like transmitting like, curiosity and sort of like familiarity to you.
Do you think our work here in this town isn't finished, or this was somewhere else, or something else? Well, I guess we better tell the others.
Trogdor is sort of like nuzzling into you and staring sort of into your eyes. He sort of just transmits like a sense of calm to you. Isaac, we're getting a lot of noise from you. It's okay. His transmits like calmness and serenity. Oh, ah! Nuzzles in you. Who are you talking to? Everyone. So once everyone gathers downstairs, Percy calls Thurman. Handshake! Handshakes! Mushroom soup! Right!
I guess we're beginning to be regulars in this place. I'll joke to him as
Oh,
I sit down.
sorry, did you want something different?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Got some lovely omelets too this morning if you'd like. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do, but I understand. We've just the thing for you. Thurman Hangover Special! Right! He's off, like, cleaning glasses and taking down chairs and stools from tables and things like that. He's not trying to listen in on you. You can, if you like, try to talk secretly, you can easily do it without him hearing you. So the pyre you saw, you were in your vision. You were in a cavern underground, and there was a large pyre. It didn't look like the pyre of corpses where you were, and the second part of your vision was very distinct from the first. It felt like a completely different time and place, entirely. The first one was sort of in a cavern, and you saw a bunch of stone giants around a pyre. Trogdor is like perking up and sort of like nuzzling into you as you say this. Just like nuzzling into you.
Seems like Trogdor agrees as well.
He transmits to you. It's like familiarity. You talk at Trogdor and he's just like cocks his head at you. Like nuzzles into you. Remember, he doesn't understand your speech. He telepathically communicates with emotions.
No, but I could try to fortune tell perhaps if we had a question. Did we want to know if the giants were here or somewhere else? What's the most important kind of yes or no question we could ask about this situation? I mean, we could get there. It can't be descriptive. It has to kind of be yes or no. Yes, no, or maybe, or unsure. That sort of thing. This time. Aiden, could I ask a DM clarification question? So I thought it would be like yes, no, or maybe, but it's actually if things will turn out well, if things will turn out badly.
You ask about like an action or a course of action you want to pursue, and if it will go well or badly. I believe is how Augury works.
Okay, so I can't ask like a yes or no question with it?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's be really clear. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take. That's pretty specific.
Okay.
Within the next 30 minutes. Also has to be something you're doing within the next 30 minutes.
Unfortunately, I might not be able to get that type of an answer to the situation. I could ask if searching for the giants would be possible in these woods, perhaps? Something along that line. Alright, I'll set out a cloth on the ground and pull out my carved shark's teeth.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. So you said you saw, Dakota. What was he showing you? Do you remember what the sigil looked like?
Yeah, it's almost seared into your brain. at a moment's notice, you can immediately recall it.
Could you draw it for us? Just do your best.
Pull out a piece of parchment and some pencils. Roll a dex check. Not save, but a check. Oh, that's bad. It's a very simple symbol. What is that total for you? It's 6. Okay, straight 6. You managed to like get the shape of the shield and like a really crude crescent moon. At the mountains, you are just a squiggle. They just look like a total squiggle, and there's like a flat line to depict, the edge of the mountains of the ocean, and then you try to draw the moon upside down, and you like fuck it up and actually draw it right side up again, so it's not like a proper reflection. But you manage to draw the diamond-shaped stars lining the edge. Yeah, but the moon is still right side up in the reflection, everyone.
Does it seem familiar to me at all? I'm asking the DM.
Does it seem familiar to who?
To me.
Oh.
Do I recognize it or anything?
No.
Okay.
Surprisingly, no. Surprisingly, no. Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. Did he say anything to you in this vision?
Nope. The symbol looks just utterly... You're like, I've seen mountains, I've seen moons. Never seen a symbol with 8 diamond stars in it. I've seen crescent moon symbols. I've seen, like, mountains and moons. This is a weird thing. Nerida asks you if Dakota said anything to you.
Maybe we should try to find that house, yeah.
At this point,
It's true.
you all hear from outside, "You're looking very fine today!"
Oh, dear.
And in the door comes Mayor Regin Umberhold. "Ah, there you are! I found you! Now, there's no need for hostilities. I was just here to tell you all, to just inform you of, what I'm doing. We've sent out guards to check on the woods. They should be back, I think, by the end of the day. We've taken the map that Tevin drew us. Very kind of him. Good guy. And I think by the end of the day, we should be able to verify your story. And if everything turns out well, I have begun arrangements to have a small festival in your honor, actually, tomorrow. So, if you'd like to hang out in our humble town that I govern, that would be most kind, and we will make sure that you're properly rewarded, in addition to the festivities in your honor.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Before you leave, this may seem like an odd question, but does this image seem familiar to you at all? Maybe a family crest in the area?
Why is the moon on there twice? That's weird.
It's a reflection.
It's upside down. Oh, I've seen this. He thinks for a moment. Oh, this is seals. That's their seal. It's on their house.
Is their house in town?
Yeah, it's just on the north side here.
Have you seen any activity there or anything recently?
I don't look at their house very often.
Sure.
I'm governing from the mayor's villa and town hall, but I'll ask my guards, see if they've seen anything. I'll ask Laura. I haven't heard anything. Yes, there's the mayor's villa, and then there's my house. That's true. I've been the mayor for 42 years. I ought to know. You know, I deserve a little extra property, I think. Frederick, I don't know, Frederick. Oh. Oh, Syndicate Frederick Derka. Yeah, I know where you stayed. Yeah. I'm not sure that's for me to do, you know. I mean, I know he's a member of the Syndicate, but I don't want to have anything to do with those Syndicate types, you know? Just want to govern the town for the good people here. Well, I don't want any more violence in my town. We've all had quite enough of that, you see? So, I think best to just let well enough alone. It doesn't sound too peaceful to me. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I can't. I don't think any of us have persuasion trained.
This is the most unsocial party that has ever
Yeah.
played D&D. Yeah, he just never uses it.
You're not proficient in it, yeah. So you can't help him or her.
No, I think it's best to just let well enough alone, you know? Frederick hasn't hurt anybody around here. So, you know, he throws his weight around a little bit, but we've gotten used to it. It's okay.
One last question. Sorry if these seem
No,
strange,
of course,
but
of course.
does your town ever notice any giants in the area?
I never heard of no giants around these parts.
Do you know where the nearest place that giants would be is?
Can't say that I do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry to hear that I can't be of more assistance, young lady.
That's alright, that's alright. We look forward to the festival and...
It'll be a great festival in your honor. If everything turns out okay, of course, but I've got a couple things planned. We love our festivities here in Moontip. A very thriving town, you know, until recently.
Well,
But,
hopefully it will be again soon.
Yeah. I plan to get back to it right away.
Alright, well, I hope the rest of your day goes well.
Yeah, you too. I've got to be off. Got plenty more to do. Plenty more people to see, if you know what I mean. He starts heading out the door.
I turn around and I don't say goodbye.
He's just turned away
I
from the
just turn
mayor.
away from the mayor.
He's going to throw a festival in your honor. Okay.
No, fine. I'll say thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, you're quite welcome. Thank you very much for everything you may or may not have done. So, I'll see you tomorrow. You certainly didn't cause too much trouble. I mean, you shot Billy, but I'm thinking he might have deserved it at this point, so thanks a lot. Anyway, like I said, more people. See you later. He starts hobbling out the door.
So we got some good information. I don't know about the giants in the area, but we could check out the Cecile house, see if it's maybe gives us some clues as to what that's about. Yeah. I say we... That's true. Yeah, I say we go check out Dakota Cecile's house, and then maybe shop...
There, waiting.
Oh my god, I had my desktop audio muted
don't
this whole time.
think he will.
Oh no.
Damn.
Like
Well, sorry for... Well, I missed recording all of you for that entire time until now.
From the beginning or from the break?
From the break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Anyway.
Well, none
Hey,
of our viewers alerted us, so.
Yeah.
None of them.
None of the two viewers. That's okay. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I say we go check out the Dakota Cecile house, see if he's there, see what's going on with it. After that, we can maybe go to some of the other stores, the Arrow, follow up on the Arrows, and ask around town and see if anybody knows where Frederick may have lived. Maybe get some shopping in, and then if we find no information on the giants, then I can try to ask if we might find any nearby or something. If we can come up with a good situational question for the universe.
Well, you could ask the universe if that is a good course.
I'd rather not. I can only do it once and it's quite a high-level spell. If we don't have something very specific that we can't otherwise find out by looking, then I will do it.
Fair enough. I would not want to waste your energy on something so simple as us exploring the nearby township.
Hopefully someday soon it'll be less tiring for me to ask.
Well, it's off then.
And away
Before we
we
leave.
go.
Before we leave, hey, Percy, you got any idea where I might be able to get a lead box?
A lead box? What do you want with a lead box?
I just have some valuables that I prefer get stored in an appropriate manner.
I can make you a lead box. Give me some lead.
Your friend seems
Or some
confident.
lead.
There are 2 smiths in town. One of them surely can make you a lead box, though it probably depends on the size that you need. There's... one second. There's Merrick's Martial Weapons. He focuses mostly on weapons, as the name implies. And then you might have better luck with Critical Iron. They do a wide range of things.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Though there's not a lot of call for working with lead around these parts, so good luck to you on that one.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so what's everybody...
And now we're up.
Okay.
Phew.
So, Alec, you actually remember your course. Like, once you get outside, you go and stand where you saw Dakota down below you, and you almost, like, have the vision again. You can just go exactly where you had gone in your vision last night. And you arrive at the house. It's a white house with a couple of normal, like, wooden colored slats sort of binding the boards. There's a large wrought iron lantern to the left of the door, and underneath it is the crest that you recognize from last night.
Shall we knock?
Seems polite to, at least to begin. So we knock.
Who's knocking?
I'll knock.
Alright, narrator runs up and...
Knocks on the door.
After a moment, the door opens and a female elf is standing before you. 6 foot tall, with long black hair, golden eyes, and a bit of a slender build. Oh, can I help you?
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. You wouldn't happen to be related to Dakota, would you?
Dakota? Yeah. We haven't heard from him in some time.
Oh, we were hoping maybe you would have. We met him briefly in Thaura. We had a job with him, and we haven't heard from him since.
Oh. But you had a job with him. What happened? What kind of job?
We were to help get one of the contacts from his Mages Guild out of a bad situation.
Oh, you must mean the Spellcasters Authority. I know he was working for them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you're here? I mean, are you looking for him? He's not here.
Well, we
We're
just...
Well,
not
he's
looking
separated
for him.
from us as we left away. It seems like he may have met an unfortunate end, but we haven't had any proof one way or another.
It seems like he may have met an unfortunate end.
The job did
We
go a
got
bit
separated.
sideways, and when we got separated, he never met back up with us, but we didn't know him all that well. I'm not sure if he would have, taken the care to meet up with us, but we just thought since we heard that his family was in town, we may as well ask.
You don't know.
If I may, we're speaking to a lady? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Lady elf? His mom?
You don't really know. It's hard to
We don't know.
gauge
Ma'am,
elf
what is your
ages.
relation to
Dakota's my brother.
right. Well, your brother, when the mission with the syndicate went south, he was captured and killed, and Helm showed this to me in a vision. And then another
Yes.
vision last night led us to your house. We had no idea it was in town, but Dakota, with Helm's help, showed me the way here, and the crest of House Cecile, which the mayor identified for
She like
us.
puts her hand up. She's like, "Stop." You
Maybe you should let us in and we can talk about this in
hang
private.
on. You said Dakota's dead. Are you
I
sure?
am terribly sorry.
No. I said I wasn't sure.
Well-
We don't know.
How can you not be sure? This guy thinks he's sure. He says he saw him.
In visions.
In a vision, yeah.
Helm has never led me astray.
You
He
quickly remember
seemed
that
strange.
when Telluria came to meet you as you left Thaura, she told you that, or not. Sorry, Telluria didn't tell you, or
Al Aelith.
Aelith told you that
Oh yeah.
he was dead.
Okay, I couldn't remember
You
if I
didn't
actually got
ever
told or
see
not.
his body, but you were told that he was dead.
Okay, then.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess I'll say we haven't seen his body to be sure, and we didn't know this spellcaster's authority or him, and we're not really sure if we trust them. But this is what we were told. So if you haven't heard from him, I fear the worst, unfortunately.
I didn't mean it. She starts to cry. I didn't mean it.
I'm
At this
so
point,
sorry.
an older looking male elf comes up behind her. Lucreta, who is this? Dear father. I can't. I didn't mean it. I never meant for this. What's going on? Who are you? He's about 6'2", with mid-length black hair, golden eyes, and a sort of moderate build. What? You've upset my daughter. What's going on?
We're so sorry. We were a group of adventurers who met in Thaura. We were
She says,
hired.
Dakota's dead. They said Dakota's dead.
We believe so, unfortunately, but
What?
he hired us to help him on a job with the Spellcaster's Authority to help recover one of the members, and it didn't go quite the way he planned. We didn't see him after the job, but we were told by his contact that he was kidnapped and killed. Our friend here had a vision that your house was here in town, and we thought we would stop by and see if you had heard from him or could confirm this, or just see what was going on.
This
perhaps.
is a lot. Why don't you come inside for a moment?
Thank you.
There are quite a lot of you. Come in.
We're very sorry to bring you such
Lucretia
terrible
is
news.
just sobbing into her hands uncontrollably. He's dead. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. And you come inside. He sort of seats you around a wooden table. Just has to bring up these benches and stuff. He doesn't have enough chairs for everyone. So you're joined by also a female elf, about the same height as everyone else, with long brown hair and pale blue eyes, and sort of moderate build, very similar to this. Is, I'm sorry, this is all happening very quickly, but he lived a dangerous life. I understand. Can we, who are you, people? I didn't catch any of your names.
Yeah, I'm Nerda.
I'm Thea.
Cora.
Lost.
Yes. And the dwarf?
Harbequeer told me to leak. Harbequeer told me. Harbequeer told. Harbequeer. Harbequeer.
He looks a little shocked.
Nice
at
to
you.
meet
He's
you.
like, Harbequeer told mit Alik.
You may call me Ellie.
Alik. That I can remember.
Yes, I was in an inn in Thara looking for work, and I ran into your son,
Yes.
and he had a job that he was looking for people to help with. I'm a sailor usually, but I'm not one to turn down any kind of work, as you could probably understand. I mean, within reason. He wanted help getting one of his friends out of trouble. One of his, co-workers.
Dakota.
And it appears the job went quite poorly. We've even been chased by some members of the group that they were investigating, all the way out here to Moontip from Thaura.
At this point, Lucretia she's just crying. She's like, you were there? You were supposed to protect him. What did you do? Why'd you let him die?
We tried to stop him, but he ran off on his own outside, and
Don't
he
blame
didn't seem
him.
to want our help. It's not his fault. Everything was on fire and confusing, but unfortunately there wasn't much we could do. I'm so sorry.
He also tried to poison us or attack us, and
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't
No?
do that. He
I
just
thought
ran
he
off on his own.
unintentionally did like spells at us.
I think that was Lost that set everything on fire.
Lost said everything. I thought he like threw a spell that was also had us in range. But anyway, meta speak. Sorry.
It's okay.
Womp.
She's like, I didn't. This is my fault. I didn't mean it.
I'm sure it's not your fault.
It is. I wished for this. I tried to stop it every day. I didn't mean it. There must be something
What
we
do you
can
mean
do.
you wished for it?
When he left, father's like, it was hard when he left. When he left, I hated him. He wasn't supposed to leave. I wished
boys grow up.
I wished he would die for being so reckless. I didn't mean it. I was mad. There must be something I can do. He's like, dear, you should go to your room, maybe settle down a bit. I'm going. She walks away. I'm sorry.
No, we're so sorry to have brought you such troubling news.
Our children have always been very precocious. He looks over at his wife, who just kind of like is looking down, and she does kind of like laugh a bit as he says that. It was far too early for him. He was very young. It is, if what you say is true, it is a great tragedy for our family.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like I said, we haven't seen his remains ourselves. We were told this by the contact we rescued. I don't know what, reason she would have to lie to us, but all I can say is the job went sideways and it was very sketchy and they rushed us out of town.
Your contact from the Spellcasters Authority told you.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He looks over to his wife and says, we haven't heard from them in months. I know he was working with them for some time. We'll have to go, I think, to Thaura and verify this. Don't you think we should take a couple days and just rest? No, I want to know right away. Alman, we have to go. We should go soon.
Would be careful as well. I mean, I'm not sure what the Syndicate's motivations are, but I wouldn't put it past them to hurt his family as well, just out of spite.
Well, the
They didn't
Syndicate's not
kill
going to
him.
stop me from finding out what happened to my son.
Fair enough, but just thought I would give you fair warning.
We can do it. It's like, I'm sorry. This is my wife, Elodil. It's very hard to hear this, especially with everything that's been going on in this town. We were hoping for some good news.
I understand.
Well, thank you for finding us. You said a vision led you to us.
That would be a leak, if you would like to speak to that.
Yes, without going into too many details, Dakota guided us to your family home. I think his spirit wished us to share the news.
So,
I take his death very personally. I see it as a failure on myself and my vow to.
I mean, we've all tried to reel him in over the years. I'm sure there was nothing you could do. He's quite a character. hard to believe he is my son sometimes. I just can't believe he's gone. Well, thank you for delivering this news. We'll make preparations to head to Thaura and see for ourselves. Make sure he has a proper burial.
I wish you luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you'd like, I can say a prayer to Helm that he may watch over his
We have our own rights,
spirit in the afterlife.
but feel free to carry out yours, of course. And he starts leading you back towards the door. Everyone stands up. Leads you back towards the door.
So I just like stop and start praying real loud. Like
Just start like shouting.
No, not shouting, but like, good volume.
Like you're giving a church sermon or something.
Yeah, so they
basically.
can hear him in the back of the congregation.
Yeah.
In the back of the house.
And I'll watch over this poor soul.
Oh, yes, yes. Very nice. Thank you. We'll take care of the rest. He ushers you to the door. And
And then I finish up my blessing, and then it takes about 4 minutes. Then I
oh god, that's a really long time. Everyone's
Yeah,
just like
it's not that
standing
long.
around trying to be polite. Like, all right,
not that long for a what do they call them? Invocations, convocations,
Invocation,
What are they called?
probably.
Funeral? Yeah, invocation.
all right. Okay. And he shuts the door as you all leave. Long enough to be awkward.
Can I search the house while Alik is giving his sermon? Oh, too late.
Are you serious? You're gonna
You can, but you
I'll
shouldn't.
grab Cora's arm when I sort of wander.
Koro
around.
starts wandering off to like touch some of their
Yeah.
dishware, and Narita like grabs her arm and wrenches her back. They're like, kind of give you a strange look, and you exit the house peacefully.
I just roll my eyes.
Okay, so that happened. You are on the streets of Moontip.
Just start going up to people and asking if they know where Frederick's house is.
I suggest
Oh,
we
no.
be a little more subtle than that.
Oh, we
Well,
should, we should
Oh,
ask
okay.
the Cecile.
Cora runs up to the first person she sees. Is like, "Hey, you know where Frederick Durkow lives?" And they're like, "No, no," and they walk away.
Well,
No,
Do you know
no.
where the archers
No,
are?
I don't.
The archery
Do you know where the
store?
archers are? The
Yeah.
archer stores?
The Archer store.
The archers, the twins.
The Broad Arc?
Twins.
You mean the
The
Broad
girls,
Arc?
The heirs. The Broad Arc, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they sort of point you, off in some direction, sort of towards the center of town.
I want to do an insight check to know, see how well they know that. Oh, okay. We go off toward the center of
They've
town.
lived here their whole lives, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be alright to split up, do you think? Or should we all stay together?
I think it would be all right to split up. I
I'd
guess
like
I
to
didn't.
go
How
to the-
well do you want to handle that?
That's fine.
I'd like to go to the
Okay.
martial weapons store and to the wood carving store.
Okay. This is
When
kind of like a
anyone
free
wants
day
to.
in town, so if you want to split up into different
Yeah.
things in different places, that's fine with me.
I need to head to Critical.
To where?
Critical Iron.
Critical Iron, yeah.
Oh,
I could go to Critical Iron as well and then peel off. See what they got at both stores.
Sure, I can hang with Nerida. The wood carving store might be interesting.
Can the iron store, can the smithies upgrade my magical leather armor to leather plated armor? Or is that too much?
like studded leather.
Studded leather or something? Yeah. Could I upgrade my armor?
Due to the magical nature of the
stuff.
armor,
Yeah.
you can't alter it without ruining it, basically. And it resists
Okay.
any sort of attempt to like alter it. You know what I mean? You like try to pierce it with needles, and it's like resisting you and stuff.
Then yes, I will go to the Broad Arc.
Okay. Who else do we have? Thea?
I will go to the wood carving store
Okay.
in hopes that they have.
Hilariously also called Mersha's, although it's spelled differently. And Alik, where are you going?
Do you think the smith might
Small
have
people
a
unite.
mobile
No.
smithing kit?
A mobile smithing kit. You cannot.
Yeah, isn't that a thing?
You cannot, like, take a forge with you, because it's preposterously heavy. I think there is like a smith's tools, but they're tools. It's not a forge and
Yeah, smith's
bellows
tools.
and stuff like that. Let's see. I imagine it's just like calipers and stuff like that.
You know what? Let's go to
So
the
you're
temple.
gonna go to critical iron
the
and
temple and
fit
start-
that box.
Start talking about Helm.
Okay, so
Maybe
there's
anything,
only
you know?
one temple in town at all, and it's devoted to Miliki. And
Okay.
it doesn't seem very serious. You know, there are like some wooden statues, and there's literally one priest there, and that's it. And he's just like inviting people in and telling them about nature and Miliki and unicorns. But you just want to go in front of it and yell about Helm. That's your plan for the day.
Do you want to have a hat out to get money too?
Of course.
Okay, so you go in front of the one temple in town. It is sort of near the town center. It looks like one of the oldest buildings in town, and start yelling about Helm. And people are just kind of like giving you strange looks and mostly laughing at you. Roll 3d6. We'll deal with this first, then I'll go back around. Thomas, if you're here. There we go.
Sorry, what?
Roll 3d6.
Throw 3d6 to see how much you make, or how well you proselytize.
Oh no! They don't like this.
So bad.
About halfway through the day, you're yelling, and then something hits you in the face and like smushes onto you, and you're like, "What was that?" And you pick it up, and it's like a rotten tomato. And you look over, and there's a gang of children laughing, and they like throw a couple tomatoes and eggs at you, and then run away.
I eat the tomato.
It's rotten. You want to eat the tomato?
Eat it. Yeah.
All right. You are poisoned for the rest of the day. No, you
You die.
you eat it, and in the next 10, it just tastes awful. It's rotten. It tastes like carpet and like sour carpet, and within it's very hard. Actually, roll and make a con save.
That's plus 5 though.
+5? Okay, so you take a bite out of it, and you struggle to, like, chew and swallow it. You're just like...
Oh no, it's not. It's not even plus 5. I don't do proficiency for that, so that's plus 3. 6.
Oh, you don't,
7.
not proficient in strength saves?
Con saves. I thought
Or
it would
con
be,
saves?
but No. I'm
No.
not.
Okay. Still, yeah, you just barely get one bite down. You go to take another bite, and immediately just puke. And all this, like, chunks of ham shank, and bits of, like, tea, and a bit of rotten tomato come back up, and you're just throwing up all over your own boots. And the kids are, like, laughing at you, and they run away.
That sucked.
You spend the rest of your day recovering, as you have some very serious indigestion from biting a rotten tomato.
Can only be cured with some ham shank.
Oh god.
You go back to the Pale Glow and get ham shank and like eat it, and 5 minutes later you go to the latrine and throw it up.
Handshake with
Then you go back to
Pepto-Bismol poured over
the front, order another handshake,
Yeah.
and just keep repeating the process
You
until you
just
feel better.
you love those handshakes. You don't look too good. Your face is turned purple, and you're like, I got handshakes. And then you go and puke again. Okay. Next is, I think, Lost and Nerida. They're going to where first?
Critical Iron, I guess.
Critical Iron. Let me find this. Okay. So, Critical Iron, there's a sign outside with it's a metal sign, cast metal sign, of an anvil, and above it there is a plate, like a breastplate that says Critical Iron across it, in 2 words like going down. And it's even near the building, it's kind of warm. And you notice there's sort of like smoke pouring out the back of it. And when you enter the building, there are a few display cases with bits of plate armor and studded leather and stuff like that, with very fine inlays of like waves and what looks like gusting wind, and like little faces blowing gusts of wind and stuff like that. Leaves and giant trees and things are etched very carefully into the breastplate, pieces of iron all over the store. There's a countertop, and then behind the countertop, there is no wall, there's no back wall, there's just like a countertop, and then behind that, there's a large forge and smithery area with a large chimney headed out the top, and there's almost no roof back there, like sunlight just pours in. And you see a somewhat short, about 5'4", female human with short black hair, a bit gaunt for a working smith, but she has like big, strong arms, and she's, hammering away at some piece of metal. It hasn't really taken much shape yet. And next to her is this human man, about 5'10", with long brown hair, kind of wavy brown hair, and he's like holding the plate and assisting her, and turning it and stuff like that as she strikes it with her hammer.
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
The
Wanted
woman turns to you. Oh, hi. They both sort of look at you. She says, Josh, can you finish this up? I'm coming. She comes up to the front. Says, well, welcome to Critical Iron. I'm Carla. Nice to meet you. She holds her hand out.
I'll shake her hand.
Shake her hand. Who can I say I'm helping today?
I'm Nerida.
Nice to meet you, Nerida.
I'm lost.
Well, you're at Critical Iron, so you should maybe know where you are.
Lost is my name.
Oh, very sorry. Yeah, nice to meet you, Lost. Interesting name. Where does that come from, if you don't mind me asking?
Boom, boom.
I'll be right back really quickly.
What is the origin of your name?
It's exactly what it sounds like.
So you were
Us,
lost, and you named yourself Lost, or somebody named you Lost.
Indeed. The community, if you can call it, that I grew up around just it got to the point where that's all they called me.
You find yourself lost all the time, lost in a good book, lost behind the forge. I don't know.
Abandoned in the woods.
Oh, well, it's a bit rougher, but you seem okay today. Just makes you stronger, right?
Indeed.
Well, what can I do for you?
I have a bit of a odd question for you, and I was wondering if you had the ability to fabricate me a lead box.
A lead box? How big?
I'm going to motion in the approximate size of the seed.
So you're like that.
Without saying that it's without showing this.
Giant evil seed shaped. So
About the size of a mango. I don't know if you know what a mango is.
I've never heard of a mango.
It's a large
watermelon.
But yeah, about this big. Okay. She like starts writing down some dimensions. And made of lead. Is it pure lead that you need?
Lead lines should be fine.
Okay, so what should it be made out of? What's the main structural material here?
What would you be able to give us the best price on?
Well, the cheapest is just copper, you know. Raw copper.
Yeah,
I'm sure copper
Yeah,
will be fine.
that'll
That'll
fine.
provide some. If I do a little bit of a copper alloy, that should give it some good structure. You need like a door or anything, or is it just enclosed? I imagine you want a door on it, right?
Yes, I'd like it with a lid that can be locked.
Ah, okay. Do you have a favorite kind of locking mechanism, or you want to leave that up to me?
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay.
We don't need to. We don't need.
Do you want like a key or a combination, or how do you want it?
Let's go with a key.
Okay. Key lock. All right. So lead lined, inside or outside lead?
Inside, I believe.
Inside. Yes.
I was gonna say if it was just gonna be a lead box, I mean that's not gonna be very structurally sound. You know, just raw lead, you can kind of just crush it. We'll make sure it's solid. She's writing stuff down.
Thank you.
And it might take me a little bit to get all that lead. It's not a very common request. I'll have to talk to my distributor.
We understand. Do you think it's something you would manage to be able to do in the next couple days? Or is that too much of a rush?
I think I could get it in 2 days if I send out for it today.
Very good. That should work fine.
It might cost you a little extra to get it rushed, you know.
I understand.
It's not part of my normal shipment.
About how much total do you think that would be?
So for the lead, the copper, the work, the lock, and to line it. Let's see, lining it's a bit difficult. I think comes to about 550 gold.
Alright, I'm sure you can figure something out. Thank you very much.
Oh, do you want to buy it, or? I've got the order right here.
Any chance you can give us a better price? I say, trying to
Persuade
trying
her to give you a
to
better price.
persuade her.
Roll persuasion.
Ah, 10.
I mean, if you don't want it rushed, I can cut the price 50 gold, no problem. But it'll take a good 5-7 days to get. You know, it'll take 3 days just to get the materials in, and then 2 or 3 days to make it. So 5 to 7 days total.
I guess you will stick with the original timeline and price.
All right, fantastic.
Do we pay up front or do we pay upon picking it up?
I expect, you know, a 20% down payment. So she like starts doing some math as I do math. I think that's 110. So 110 down now. It is kind of a specialty item. I think I have to do 150 down. I can't get rid of it, you see, if you know, I can't sell it to anybody else. It's a lead-lined copper box. Who wants that? Of course you do, but I'm sure you have your reasons.
I understand.
Okay, I'll pay the woman.
You put 150 gold on the table. Great. She like writes you like an invoice looking thing. And here you go. You can mark that you have one invoice from Critical Steel. Or Critical Iron, is it?
Critical iron.
Critical
yeah.
Iron.
Can I ask about this fine armor that you have near the entrance?
You have a fine eye. You noticed it, huh?
It is quite lovely.
Yes. I work very hard on those inlays. They're not always, as you look closer, some of them are like lined with silver so that the inlay shimmers in the light as you move past it. Some even have like gold or rose gold inlaid on them.
Ooh, fancy.
Like the tree, the one with a giant sort of tree with outstretched limbs, has rose gold in it, and it shimmers colors between like gold and pink as you move and watch it in the light. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, armor's great and all, but if you can really make a statement with it, I really think that says something extra. We specialize in that kind of thing.
That's very beautiful handiwork.
Thank you. I've been working for 20 years at this point.
Oh, wow.
I've gotten pretty good, I think. Since I was 5 or 6, my dad taught me.
That's wonderful.
I think so.
What type of armor is it?
Well, we've got breastplate, we've got studded leather. We don't sell anything without metal on it. If you want just regular leather or something, you'll have to go to one of the local huntsman stores or something, a tannery. But yeah, breastplate. We've got some chainmail, although that takes forever to make. I prefer making breastplate.
I currently have.
I would guess chainmail, but I'm not sure.
Yes, I have chainmail. Is this like what I'm looking at better than chainmail? I'm sure my character would know.
Full plate
Is
better than chainmail.
All right, and how much is it?
Let's see. Oh, I don't have my armor screen up.
More than we can afford.
Oh yeah, but I'm
Almost
just
certainly
curious.
more than you can afford. But this is fun. Let's do it.
May as well. 12
Let's see.
billion.
To wear plate or splint, you will have to have at least 15 strength. Keep that in mind.
I do have that.
Okay. Splint mail, which she has some of. They're just like, it's a series of plates. It's like lamellar, almost. Gives you 1 more AC than chainmail, and plate gives you 1 more AC than splint.
Okay.
For a total of 18. And she says, let me get back to it. Oh, I had it. Where is it? There. Well, I mean, it depends on the inlays you want and how good you want it to look. You know, how shiny and flashy you want to be in battle, dazzle your enemies, or your friends if you're just showing it off. It's a great mantelpiece. My pieces, the ones with the nicer inlays, depends on what you want. Again, like I said, they run about 2,000, 2,200 for full plate, and the splint is about 500-600 gold for a set.
Oh, okay.
And I see you already have chainmail.
Yes.
So if you want to spruce it up a little bit, get a little shinier coating on it or something like that, we can charge 100 gold or so for that.
Okay.
Make it look nicer.
How long would it take you to do some ocean themed decorations on my chainmail?
On chainmail, well, chainmail
On these,
you can paint,
sturdier bits.
but it'll just kind of. You can paint the chainmail, but it'll just wear off. There's nothing that really sticks to the metal very well.
Yeah.
So really, you just wear stuff over it mostly,
Very
right? You wear heraldry or whatever over it, and yours looks interesting. I can see you're very sea themed. She's like inspecting you and sees all like shells and symbols of waves and things like that. So very interesting.
Well, yeah, it's very beautiful work. I think a little bit out of my price range for today, but I'll definitely keep it in mind for when I'm looking to upgrade my armor.
Please
These
do.
are very beautiful pieces.
Thank you. Work hard.
I'm a little curious about what studded leather armor you might have.
Yeah, so we get hides from some of the local rangers. They've treated and tanned them. We inspect them to make sure they're of the proper quality, and we place either iron or steel studs. Steel's a lot harder to do within them. And she shows you a couple pieces. The leather just has some very basic sort of embossing on it as well. You can tell she's like tried to do a similar thing, but she's much more comfortable with the metal than she was with leather. So there are some basic embossed trees and things like that on the front of the studded leather. But it also has all the studs sort of like piercing through it, so it's kind of hard to see.
What kind of pricing?
Any of our studded sets will run you about 50 gold pieces.
Yeah, I think I'll get a studded armor set from you.
Ah, fantastic. Do any of them in particular catch your eye? They all look fairly similar. There's one with like a tree embossed on the leather. There's one that has like extra long cuffs down over the shoulders for like a little added protection there. It doesn't actually add to your AC, but it just looks different. There's one with what looks like a sparrow or a lark embossed on the front. There's one with like a crushing wave.
I'll take the one with the tree motif.
Ah, excellent. Yeah, that's. I sort of did it to honor the woods nearby. She pulls it down off the rack. It's like, are you wearing leather armor at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
But it's only regular leather armor.
Right. It's like, so for the studded leather, it's very similar to what you're wearing now. She goes into like how to fit it and strap it onto you, and she like gets a fit on you and stuff, and like takes in the straps in the armor to make sure it fits you okay, and sort of helps you try it on after you take off your leather armor. And you give her 50 GP. She's like, "Thank you. Great doing business with you. Is there anything else you wanted?"
No, that's all I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
I
now,
think
at
that does it.
We'll be back in a few days.
You've got
with
the
box.
invoice for the box, so I'd say in 2 days should be ready.
Thank you very
Sounds
much.
good, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Would you like to go to the wood carving store now? We could pick up Thea on the way.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Thea's just been doing what? Hanging out with Trogdor?
Yeah, just wandering around hanging out with Trogdor.
As you walk around town with your pseudo dragon, everyone who wasn't at the Pale Glow last night is like, "Oh my god, what is that?" All of the town, like, you see some people going up and talking to town guards, and the town guards are like explaining something to them. They just look kind of frightened. Some of the kids try to run up and kind of like touch him a bit. They're like, a dragon! Oh my god, a dragon!" And Trogdor kind of like hisses at them a bit, like, "Ah!" And they run away. A dragon! Yeah, and eventually you're just like wandering around parks and like admiring how the nature and how well the town is sort of built around the natural environment. You can tell that the city planners or whatever, all the construction workers, everyone who built all the buildings in this town, did so to mold the town around the existing environment, and there are sort of natural like little bits of hills and valleys and rocks left over and stuff that haven't been demolished. Many trees throughout the whole town. And eventually, Nerida and Lost find you.
Hello, Thea. We were
Hello.
heading to the wood carving store. We put in that order for that lead box. Would you like to come with us?
Yes.
Very good. So I assume we can kind of see it or something.
Yeah, you've been there before. You head on over to Mersha's. You go inside, and just like before, there are finely crafted, carved tables. There are some like sundials. There are a bunch of statues of eagles, owls. There are even small statues of rats and things like that. A few statues of dragons. They look a bit strange. You like look at them and look at Trogdor and you're like, that looks weird. These people have never seen dragons. They've only like sometimes read books about them. So it's kind of like a fat lizard with wings and a very long neck. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. There are sort of wooden instruments and all sorts of things. And behind the counter, there's a half elf, very short for a half elf, only about 5'5". And she's, hello, welcome to Mersha's. I'm
Hello.
Mersha.
I'll look around. Do I see any deer by any chance?
Yes, there are several sculptures of deer in multiple different sizes. In fact, there's one sculpture of a buck, like a 14-point buck, that is life-size. It occupies a large portion of
wow.
the room. And
Are there...
it looks very realistic, and the only part of it that's painted is the eye, so it's like this cured wooden color, and then the eye is white with a small dot, or black, I guess, huh? Because they just have black eyes.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are there any unicorns?
Yeah, there are a couple. They're smaller. There's even a small charm-sized unicorn, maybe about 2 inches long or so. There are a couple of statues. There's one of like a unicorn rearing up.
Mm-hmm.
There's one inlaid carving, so it's not like a statue.
Mm-hmm.
That's of a forested scene and a unicorn walking through it that's painted. The unicorn is white with like flowing white mane.
Mm-hmm. Are there like price tags on them?
No.
No? Okay.
Hey, see anything you like?
Yeah, how much is that unicorn image?
Oh, I carved that one just last week. Felt inspired.
Yes.
Hoped Miliki could help us,
Mm-hmm.
their troubles. Yes, I believe it's only 2 gold for that.
Okay. And how much was the pendant charm
The pendant.
of a unicorn?
Oh, yeah. It could be put on a pendant, but it's just a
Okay.
small charm. She's, you could, like, drill a clasp, or not a
That's
clasp,
okay.
but whatever, into it. But it's just, like, something you would carry in your pocket or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Oh, 5 copper for that.
Okay.
Produce plenty of those. They're very fun to carve.
I'll take both of those.
Okay. Sounds great.
So that was 2 gold, right?
2 gold, 5 copper total.
How many copper and silver? Is it 10?
It's 10 each, yeah, going up. Except for electro.
I'll take one
which
of
is
the
5 it's 2 copper? Sorry, 5 copper.
5 copper. I'll take one of those charms as well.
Great. There's like a bucket of them. They're like frogs and birds and leaves and all sorts of stuff. And you pick out... You want a unicorn as well?
I also want a unicorn.
Okay. You're like unicorn bros.
Yep. Bronies.
The
The
OG bronies. Unibros. Very
pick
very
up
common
one
with the
of
children, though. They like the dragons. It's like those
I pick
weird
up one of the
things.
dragons and show it to Trogdor.
Is it-
I put it back and pick up a unicorn. I'll have one of these as well, thank you.
One of the little charms.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, that's the last unicorn charm.
The last unicorn. I'm alive.
Was it when now that I'm a woman? Now that I'm a woman. So
Everything has changed.
5 copper. You guys really like unicorns. You worshippers of Miliki.
Yes.
You're very quiet as well. But that's okay. I can carve things for you too if you'd like something done.
I think these are good for me. Thank
Okay.
you so much, though.
Yeah, of course.
You do beautiful work.
Oh, thank you. The wood speaks to me,
Mm-hmm.
You see the image in the block and you just let it out.
Hopefully you'll be able to sell a lot at the upcoming festival in town.
Oh, there's a festival.
Oh, you didn't hear this?
Oh.
Hopefully there will be a festival.
Oh no, I didn't hear.
Well, you might want to get some extra carvings ready.
Yes, of course.
Fingers crossed.
Anything else for all of you?
No. Just this cute little unicorn.
I can't remember. This shop doesn't sell weapons of any kind, right?
No. It's just a wood carving
Okay,
store.
that's what I thought I remembered.
During all of this, Cora is going to the Broad Arc. Broad Arc bows and arrows. You arrive outside. There is a sign with a bow. It's like a recurve bow, and the center bows out like that. And between the arc and the string, it says Broad Arc, like tilted like this. And then it has, it has like 2 arrows crossing like this as well underneath where it says Broad and Arc. And you go inside, and the twins are behind the counter, and on the walls there are numerous bows, very finely carved, like very well treated. They all look great. There are many arrows like in a glass display case at the counter.
I'm gonna slightly interrupt real quick because I gotta go to sleep.
Okay,
But
good night,
I'll
Thomas.
keep going because I'm just at the.
You
end
just
of
got
the season,
egged, so.
Good night.
I'm on that baby sleep schedule now. So.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Okay.
by the way.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? I have a bunch of
Yeah.
pictures. I'll post them in the Discord if I
Okay.
Oh,
remember
Yay.
to tomorrow because we have millions of them.
Oh,
Millions.
maybe.
Okay, bye.
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 Okay. So I go up to the twins.
Oh, it's you!
Do they
Hey,
have
it's
different
Cora!
hair colors?
Huh?
Do they have new colors of hair, or is
Nope.
it still the same color?
Still blue and green.
Okay.
Hey, Matunia, it's Cora! I know Taluna, I see her! She's so cool! She came to visit us like she said!
And which one?
Did you kill any giants yesterday, Cora?
No.
Since we
I
saw
went
you?
to
I mean,
bed.
we just saw you last night, but maybe in your dreams
Yeah.
you were killing giants. Yeah, I bet she was. She's so cool!
Calm down. I'm here to discuss the arrows we had talked about yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we made
I
a
was
couple
really
more.
hoping you could tell me how much are they?
Well, these are kind of specialty arrows. They don't get sold anywhere. That's right, Matunia. We carved sort of slits into the side. It reduces their weight by a little bit, so they're even a little bit lighter. Although that means sometimes they don't get as much heft into the strike. Yeah, but they fly really far. Yeah, we can shoot them really far. Do you want a demonstration? We can go out back. I mean, we don't have enough space to show you quite how far they fly, but you can see they fly really fast.
No, that's all right. I will take you at your word that you are a trustworthy craftsman. I see that you have a fine shop here.
Yeah. So they're broadhead arrows, and she just starts rambling about how they carved the arrows and what the idea behind it was, and like the fletching on them is this particular kind of fletching and all this stuff.
And because I listened to this, I suddenly gain +5 to my archery now.
You gain insight into arrows. It's like, okay,
Yes.
well,
Okay.
they're 1 silver apiece, so you can have as many as you'd like. Of course, we have quite a few in stock. Kind of our specialty, isn't it, Petunia? Yeah, it is to Luna.
And you were going to instruct me on how to poison my arrow so that I could properly apply it from animals and vials?
Oh, well, I mean, if you have vials of poison, you just kind of, cover the tip of the arrow with them. Yeah, there's nothing really that special to it. You just got to make sure it, dries out while it's on the tip of the arrow. Yeah, if it falls off before it dries out, that's no good. It's not going to stay on the arrowhead.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I found that very informative.
They both say in unison, yeah, of course. And then they look at each other and, giggle a bit.
So, do you two happen to be sisters?
Oh, you noticed? Yeah, of course she noticed, Mitunia. Yeah, I know, Taluna. Yeah, we're twins. And they, put their arms around each other, and you just, other than the hair, you can't tell them apart at all. They look completely identical. They just smile.
Oh,
Like a
my.
big, wide grin. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes. Do you do everything together?
Well, we worked
We've done
together.
everything
We
together.
played together when we were kids. That's right, Mitsunia. We played together a lot. Yeah, we played out in the forest. You know, we crafted a bunch of bows. Our dad taught us how to fletch. Yeah, he taught us how to fletch when we were really young. Yeah, we do a lot of things together.
That is, yeah. But you still seem to get along well with everyone else as you've opened up the shop in town.
Oh yeah, well our shop is doing really well. Yeah, we're pretty friendly, and this is a really friendly town. Everyone is really nice to us. Yeah, a lot of the rangers buy their arrows here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They go out hunting. You know, it's great to see our arrows getting a lot of use. And our bows. We do bow repair. Yeah, we can help you upkeep your bow. You know, make sure it doesn't start warping. Yeah, and restring it and everything.
Well, it seems to be naturally keeping itself well in shape. After all, it is somewhat magical.
That's right. You said it was
And
magic,
I
right?
have
Are you sure we can't get a closer
depend
look
on-
at it? They like start leaning over the counter at the exact same time.
What's it worth to you?
Oh, you're gonna charge us after we gave you arrows? Oh, come on. Oh, we actually haven't even sold you arrows yet, huh? How many do you want?
No. I suppose a full quiver full.
So 20?
And perhaps a few extras from my backpack.
So how many total?
So
30?
100? 1
100?
gold?
You gonna carry 100 arrows with you? That's a lot
how
of
much-
arrows.
How heavy is that, really? They're lighter. They're carved out.
They are slightly lighter. It's not even necessarily so much that they're heavy. It's just that 100 arrows is a gigantic
Is a bulk.
volume. You have absolutely nowhere to properly store so many arrows. It would replace
Okay.
absolutely everything in your pack.
Oh.
And you would also have to, you know, have some hard leather so that they don't pierce your pack. You need like huge like tarps of hard
Arrows for
leather.
days.
Yeah, and they might go loose and stuff.
Okay. So.
Jeez, how many
not
giants are you
that.
going to kill that you need 100 arrows? You're going to shoot a giant with 100 arrows? That's a lot of arrows. Maybe giants are
Well,
really hard to kill.
after a
Yeah, the core is
whole-
really cool, and you shoot out a magic bow.
A whole community of them. I need to make sure that I have enough to do what I am setting out to do, but perhaps that is not the best way to.
You're going to fight
to
more than one
accomplish
giant
this.
at a time? You're going to kill a whole community? To Luna, that's insane. Yeah, Mitsunia, she's really cool.
Perhaps. I am not one to judge my own actions. However, they have killed my family, and I have sworn that they will pay.
Oh man, it's like a big
That's what I'm
revenge
going to
story.
set out to
Yeah,
do.
it's really cool. You're so awesome, Cora. So how many arrows? 30 arrows? 40
thank you.
arrows?
40 arrows should be fine.
Yeah. 2 quivers full.
Actually,
They like
well,
put
do you have
stacks,
anything that
down
will
stacks of arrows
do
on the table.
more damage for me? That's really what I want. I seem to find that this bow gives me enough range. I generally am not sniping at things far away. I need to be able to protect my teammates. Accurate and hard.
Well, I mean, we have broadhead arrows. They're just really high quality. Yeah, they're really high quality. But I don't know if they'd really do a lot more damage than normal arrows. Or than the arrows you have, anyway. They're like looking at the arrows in your quiver. These look alright.
Bifurcated animal arrows
Yeah,
from the other place.
yeah.
Well, do you have anything for piercing armor?
Yeah, I mean, we have
Just those broad-headed arrows.
the broadheads are not so much for piercing armor. You would want like a, I mean, I don't know what they call it, like a bolt tip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like crossbow bolts are usually not broadheads. They just have a tip.
Straight tip
Yeah.
as hard as it can.
It doesn't really matter. Arrows are arrows, right? Like it's not gonna
Arrows are arrows.
make much
There's no.
difference.
I'm not going to find any special arrows anywhere, am I? Okay.
Special
fine.
arrows are magical arrows. There are magical arrows in the world, and then there are different types of arrows, like exploding arrows and like oil and flame arrows and stuff like that. But they don't sell any of that.
Okay. Okay.
No one's ever had a need for those kinds of things. Acid tip arrows and stuff, which you could probably make with tinkerer's tools. or possibly like an alchemist kit. Or
Do they have
is fletching
fingers
tools a thing?
tools to sell me?
Fletching tools are a thing, right?
I guess I could buy fletching tools from them.
Yeah. Do you not have that?
No.
Yeah, there's a Boyer Fletcher kit.
Do I have to become proficient with it too to make it? I guess I
Yeah,
just
you would
go
have to be
out.
proficient with it to use it properly, which would take a very long time.
Yeah, let's skip that. Okay, so they've explained poisons to me. I've done arrows. Do they know? Do you happen to know? Have you ever sold arrows or been customers of Frederick?
Frederick, yeah, you're gonna have to be a little more specific.
His last name. Who escapes me?
Durka.
Durka? Frederick Durka?
Oh, Frederick Durkow! Yeah, we didn't really deal with him that much. Yeah, he's not really a ranger. You can come in here. No?
No, I was hoping to find his residence. I heard he was a man
Do we know
to
where he
deal
lives,
with.
Petunia? No, I don't think we do, Taluna.
No, I have Durka. Okay, well, thank you. Anyway, I suppose I will go search it for someone who does. Could you point me in the direction of someone who might be an acquaintance of his?
No one really knew him very well. Yeah, he mostly kept to himself, except, push people around a bit. Yeah, I don't think anyone was really friends with him. Not that I could think of.
Then who did he purchase his food from? Where did he get his supplies?
Thinking. Oh, you've seen him at the Pale Glow? Yeah, I've seen him at the Pale Glow. He eats there a lot. He seems to be really well paid. Yeah, he must be getting paid a lot.
Okay, perhaps I will go investigate with Percy then. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye, Cora! They both wave.
Right, I want to go to the martial weapons store,
Okay.
and then we can stop talking.
Okay.
Good trip.
Martial weapons store. Oh. I know what you're talking about. Merrick's Martial Weapons.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so. Similar to Critical Iron, the building is warm. Like, even outside, like, it's hot. You go inside, and it's much more Spartan than Critical Iron. Critical Iron had like very nice displays, things were hanging on the wall and stuff. There's nothing hanging on the wall in here. There are some like display cases and a bunch of swords that look like they're just, and like axes and all sorts of things
Yeah.
that are just haphazardly placed in the display cases. And again, there's a forge in the back, a very similar kind of thing. There's a forge in the back and a smith, and there's a counter. And back at the forge, you see a very tall male half-orc with short black hair, extremely muscular, just a hulking figure. And next to him is an only slightly shorter half-orc with, again, mid-length black hair. The first one was short black hair. This one has mid-length black hair, and again a muscular build. They look very similar to each other in silhouette. And the slightly smaller one looks up as you walk in, and it's very loud in the back with the large half-orc, slamming. They're both working on a sword together, and he looks up and says something almost inaudible over to the person, the half-orc next to him. Turns. Walks over and takes his gloves off and stands at the counter.
How are you folks doing?
Oh, fine, thank you. I was wondering, do you guys sell glaives by any chance? Like this one? I'll lean forward.
You hold out your glaive.
Yeah.
That's quite a weapon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we got at least one glaive already like that, but if you want, you can put in an order, and we can produce something for you. What's wrong with that one?
Nothing, just curious what you have. I have some time in town, so shopping a little bit.
can I see that one for a moment?
Sure. I'll, flip it over and hand it over the counter.
Yeah. Never seen a two-sided glaive before. Don't you cut yourself with the other side?
It takes some practice, but no, thankfully.
You must be quite the fighter if you can use this thing.
Sets it down on the counter and starts inspecting it. You have a moment to look around the store. He has like battle axes, flails.
Mm-hmm.
He does have one or two. Yeah, he has two glaives. They look really well made, but again, like very Spartan. There's nothing special about them at all. It's just like a strong-looking haft and a large blade at the end. And it's like,
yeah, you want to see that one?
Sure.
okay. He goes and opens the display case and pulls it out and sets it down.
Yeah, this is one of my finest pieces of work. Glaives are not an easy task, and I don't get a lot of practice with them, but I'm proud of that one.
If you lift it, it's very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's it feels almost twice as heavy as your glaive, which has two blades on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you immediately notice, as you hold it in your sort of standard martial position, the blade on it is like much longer than the blades at the end of your glaive. The blades at the end of your glaive are maybe 6 to 8 inches long or something like that. They're nothing to screw with. This is like a 12 to 16 inch blade. It's huge.
You cleave someone right in half with that.
Yeah, it looks like it.
There's a solid iron core that runs all the way down the haft, so it'll never split. You can block anything with it.
Can I tell if it's better than mine or about the same?
It feels heavy. You flip it around, like you like twirl it in your hand, and it has serious momentum. You have to like stop it. In terms of in-game, it's not better than yours.
Okay.
It's a different kind of glaive.
Is there anything else, that I see that I think might be a little better than mine, or just...
Nope.
Okay. Would you be able to upgrade mine at all?
Looks like it's in mostly fine condition. Looks like there's even a bit of dried blood on there.
Like scrapes at it, and like a bit of brain comes off on his finger, and he's like,
Been getting into a little trouble, have you?
A little bit, unfortunately.
wipes it just on his pants.
Well, that's a fine weapon. I could sharpen it up for you if you need. The edge seems to have dulled a bit. Got a little use lately.
Would that do anything?
Technically, no.
How much would it be to get it sharpened?
It's only 5 gold.
Okay.
Get it sharpened.
That's alright for today, but thanks for, taking a look at it.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
By any chance, this might seem a little bit odd, but did you know of Frederick?
Frederick,
Durka.
Durka?
Frederick Durkow. Yeah, I know that guy.
Do you know if he lived nearby or where he might
I
have
don't know
been
where he
staying?
lived. He came in a couple times. Bought a couple weapons. Recently, he came in with a friend or two. With a rapier. That other guy had an axe. Weird bunch.
I don't doubt it.
I don't mess with him too much. People say stay away.
Yeah, I've heard as much from others. Well, thanks for...
Bit rude.
Oh.
He didn't like my place.
Really?
Yeah. He said it's got no flair. Told him to fuck off.
Yeah, that is pretty rude.
He still asked me to sharpen his swords, though.
If it does the job, you don't need much else.
Yeah. Money's money at the end of the day, I guess.
Fair
I
enough.
don't need that shit anymore, though. He comes back in here, I'll just kick him right out.
Well, hopefully he won't, be bothering you too much.
Yeah,
In the
got
future.
plenty of other business, doesn't really matter. Rangers need their swords sharpened. Occasionally they break something. Need a replacement.
Alright, well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
He's got his gloves in his hand.
Well, if you need any services, remember,
I'll keep you in mind.
I'm here for you.
He puts his gloves back on and goes back into the back.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I'll head out of the store.
You hear him as you're like, okay, son, let's hold this straight.
Aww.
You go out the door. Alright, was that everything everyone was doing?
Yeah.
I think so.
So, I imagine you all meet back up at the end of the day at the Pale Glow.
Mm-hmm.
And, you've spent the day shopping and just relaxing and, trying to feel okay. As you travel the streets, you notice, the townsfolk kind of leer at you a little bit and point and talk to each other. And you're, when you go back into the Pale Glow at night, again, the stage is empty. There are a lot more people in here now. And Percy greets you and tells you he's, been on sent a couple of people around to start a campaign to, congratulate you and get ready to throw a party and stuff and let everyone know that it's okay now. We don't have to worry anymore. And once again, as you're eating dinner, you hear from, there you are again! Glad I found you! You guys are always here! Ain't you got anything to do around the day?
I mean, it's evening now. You don't know what we've been up
Oh,
to.
yes, of course. You're sitting down for your evening meal? It looks quite good. Well, anyway, some of my men have returned from the forest. They said that it's very strange. A lot of the trees are dead. But they went to where you said there's a big hole in the ground. And they went to that cave you told them about. And there's a weird bed and stuff in there. So, unless you just randomly wandered out into the woods, dispelled all the creatures, and made a big hole in the ground and left, I think we gotta believe your story. I'm still a little confused about where the seed went. You said you purified it. But my town seems safe. We haven't had a patrol come back in quite some time. Like this. And these boys went right into the heart of it, came all the way back out. So, I think we're okay. And I want to thank you all. I want you to know that I've made arrangements with many of the establishments in town and have put the word out that tomorrow will be a festival in your honor.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you deserve it. And, I'm very busy, I've got other things to do, so excuse me if I don't spend a lot of time.
Just before you leave...
Oh, yes, of course.
We were told when we were sent here on this contract that there was a reward for helping clear the town of
Oh, yes!
schools.
The villagers took up a collection. It's quite a lot of money. Yes, actually, thank you for reminding me. I have it here. And he pulls out this large, sack of gold. And you're like, how can he even carry that? This is huge sack of coins. And he plops it on the table in front of you, and it, spills open, and all this, silver and gold just starts, pouring out of it. Oh, I'm very sorry. You see, we didn't have time to convert it, so it's kind of a lot of small coin. But it's all there. It's 1,200. And you make sure that Tevin gets his share, because he's the one who came to me in the first place.
Oh, yes, we will.
Yep. And yes, fine work. And on behalf of all the citizens of Moontip, thank you very much. And you will be celebrated tomorrow, and we'll try to make it an annual thing. I think it seems like a good idea to me. And we have a couple of special things prepared for you. So stick around and join in your festival.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Great.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
night.
All right. Goodbye.
That sounded suspicious to me, but
I think I like it. Okay, so I'm off. He just turns around and walks
no
out.
pinching women's booties.
On his way out, you see him kind of flirt gently with some of the ladies at tables and stuff. Hey, you're looking very good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Hey, boy.
As he heads out the door. And you all bed down for the night.
Wait, we gotta ask
Oh, there's
our
something
boy
else?
Percy about where Frederick lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank
where
you.
Frederick at?
So Percy's behind the bar. You guys are getting to be an installation here in the Pale Glow.
Hopefully a good one.
And you're talking to the mayor all the time.
Well,
now, too.
maybe you should recommend a different food place for us to try.
Oh no, we have the best food in town. Don't let anyone say otherwise.
We have no complaints.
Yeah,
Then,
Thurmond is a
there you
great
go.
chef.
So you seem to know most of the people in this town. Do you
Things
happen
about
to know
stuff.
Frederick? Frederick
Durka.
Burka.
Yeah.
Durka.
Frederick Durka, yeah.
Burka.
Durka. Yeah, I mean, I know Frederick. I wish I didn't, but I do.
Seems to be a common sentiment around here.
Yeah. He's always demanding food and stuff for free. Sometimes I just gave it to him just to shut him up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Didn't really want him coming down on me, you know. I know he's got some connections.
Yeah. Do you happen to know where he lives by any chance?
Oh, yeah, I do. What are you planning to do?
I
Just
mean,
wanted to talk to him.
yeah.
Be careful.
Thanks
You know,
for your
He's
concern.
connected to the syndicate.
That's what I've heard, but there's just been some miscommunication, and wanted to just clear some things up.
Okay. You want to go to his house?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. He gives you instructions on like where his house is and how to get to it.
Thank you so much.
So let's head out right now.
Right now.
Well, we don't really want
It's
people
just
to
evening. It's
see
like
us,
7 or 8. So
Yeah.
if you
I
want
mean-
to make this a nighttime operation, we can certainly do that.
We could
Yeah,
do that.
Cora, I think we should wait until it's a little darker.
Another
Oh,
thing we could
okay.
do is people will be pretty distracted by the festival. I'm sure once they've introduced us, we might be able to sneak off and check out
We-
during the day if you want as well.
We will be the guests of honor.